Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 67. We got Robert joining us at the moment, so I'm not sure if anyone else is going to hop on the Hangouts. I'll just cue the usual intro and display the rules for tonight and play some music. Let's hope the music works. There we go for the music. I think it's working.
Yeah, it's working, Paul.
Is it too loud?
No.
We can never get the volume just right. What's it done sideways? Does it every time? Well, if there wasn't a problem, it would be a live stream. Where Jamal is. Looks like the counters are working at least. Is the graphics switching? Oh yeah. Hey, here we go. Yeah, we'll just switch to the desktop in a minute, Jamal. Yeah, busy weekend. Charlie's got a sore foot. I think you heard the echo. I'll talk in a minute. So that'll be good enough for an intro, I think. We'll pause it there. There we go. So, desktop covered up alright. Looks good. Just did I pause the music? Right. If I mute the echo, I don't hear the music. Okay, just stop that. That'll do. So, welcome, Jamal. And yeah, Charlie's a bit crooked today. I'm not sure if he's cut his CAD on rocks in the stream, but he's been chewing at it all weekend and it looks a bit raw. And I was going to put some cream on him, but every time I do, he goes and runs and hides. We got stuff called Rawley's cream, which is like tar almost, like Vaseline, and it seals it, but it's got iodine in it. And even if he licks it, it doesn't seem to affect him much, apart from getting a bad taste in the mouth. Is you still working sound right there, Robert? Because I see you cutting out my end.
Yeah, it's all good for me.
Are you on the mic? Well, you got it. I forgot to ask you.
Yeah, all the settings are correct to my best of my knowledge.
Okay, so if you want to interrupt what I'm saying, just say "May I," and then I'll hear it, because there's always a wee bit of a delay on this Hangouts, and then I'll pause and let you have a speak, and at the end you can say carry on, and that's what I generally do. I'll say, "Yep, go ahead," and then I'll say, "May I cut in?" We'll try and do that, but we'll probably forget.
Yeah.
Because we end up talking over each other, which happens because there's a slight delay. So we had some trolls last week. Last stream. And Jamal was sorting them out while I was on full screen because I wasn't seeing what was going on in the chat, so I didn't get to see what was being said. But there was a guy called Spider-Man 2 is an art of work. And I kept reading his long name because it had spaces in it and as a sentence, and I thought, what's he doing? It didn't make sense the way it was on my screen. So I accidentally ended up showing Jamal how to hide them, and I think he was okay, but I've unhid him again, that one, just in case, because I didn't get to see if he was saying anything bad about me. But I think he was okay. And yeah, I forgot to even use my trolls video, which didn't work very well last time. So apparently Google have been in touch with me and said there was definitely bad code their end, which corrupted the graphics and made the live stream longer than it should be. Even though I ended the stream, it carried on recording. And so all that sort of weird corruption we've had, I've not been seeing it since for a couple of weeks now. So definitely they've modified the code again and fixed the fault. So sometimes they keep messing around with stuff, makes it worse rather than better. So it wasn't my end so much, but I know mine does cut out if I get 100% CPU. The audio goes crackle or cuts out and you lose certain words. So hopefully it's better now anyway. And yeah, I got quite a few copyright claims against my videos in the last couple of streams, which is a pain in the A to deal with. Most of them get released, but I did that one on what was it now? That Project Blue Book movie that's coming up in the middle of Jan, just after, well, probably in the middle of the holidays, start of the new holidays after Christmas. So yeah, so apparently playing trailers, they still put copyright claims on you and take away all your ad money, which is a bit more on for a 2-minute clip when you do a 3-hour stream. So not to be confused with the 1970s Project Blue Book TV series. There's a new one coming out. I'm just trying to find the link. I got 1970, that's right. Coming out in 2019. That's this one up here. Now, apparently, a lot of people were invited to a premiere in California. So Alexandro Rojas, or whatever his name is, Rojas, because he got to pronounce the J's as H's, so Spanish way was confusing. So he got to see 2 episodes on the big screen by the sounds of it, and they gave him even copies on DVD and posters and all sorts of plastic items. So if you haven't seen him talking about it, it'll be on Open Minds Facebook group. And also, if I can find it here, not that one, Ryan Sprague, I've got him muted at the moment. He does these unboxing videos. Apparently they keep sending him stuff because he's a big Ancient Aliens fan and promotes Giorgio and the TV series. They all like him, of course. Unlike a person like me that's even got more substance than what he has. What's he got? He's only got 1K. Surely not. I thought he had more than that. I thought he had 900. 9,000 or something. 900. No, 900 I thought. Oh yeah, 1K. So he's got another 100.
It's gone up again.
Yeah, so yeah, it was 900 when I looked earlier. So a few people have been watching him. But was in California and he's moved back to New York. So I guess this is in his apartment in New York now. But yeah, he unboxes stuff here, so I won't play it. But I'll just skim through it because I don't want any more copyrights nonsense. But that comes in a nice little pamphlet. Oh, we can play a clip of it, I guess. See if the volume works.
Hynek into the mainstream, so amazing. All right, that was a mouthful. I was very excited for that. I had no idea what to expect. We are moving on to my next. Get it in the back here. So you guys are definitely going to recognize this little dude.
So these ones are going to be episodes, no doubt.
Close encounters list, as Hynek made up, of like how to
Okay, we've got to find the beginning of it here.
And let you guys know on Twitter and on the Facebook group. But it is a DVD, video evidence screeners. So cool. Whoa! This might look familiar to some of you. We've got some case files from Blue Book. Additional sightings.
Is it loud enough, guys?
There are tons of these in here. Like, it's kind of, it looks like what it is kind of the close encounters list, as Hynek made up, of like how to fill out a UFO report for Project Blue Book. What else we got? What else we got? Some more photos hidden in the back here. So you guys are definitely going to recognize this little dude, who I believe is in the first episode of Project Blue Book. That is the Flatwoods Monster, one of my favorite stories. This is so cool. I can't believe they went through the trouble of doing this, and I honestly don't know why they did this, but really interesting. These look like a lot of photos from the show. I'm sure these mysterious looking military dudes are going to come into play. Possibly a love interest, I'm guessing, Mr. Hynek. What's she up to? No good. There's one for you. This is so cool. There's the leading man in the show, I believe, other than Hynek, perhaps his nemesis of some sort, or his partner. I don't really know much about the show yet, to be honest. But that being said, we are going to have the creative team of Project Blue Book on History Channel.
So I'll just post the link there if you don't follow Ryan. He puts out, he does like podcasts and interviews UFO people pretty much, and he sort of believes in everything being UFO from what I've seen anyway on his Facebook and his chats with people. So yeah, he gets lots of gifts. So that's not his first unboxing video. But yeah, it's quite ironic that A&E History Channel sent him all that, and yet when I play a promo for their new show coming up, so everybody gets to know about it, I get hit with a copyright. So what do you think of that? Crazy. And I've got a copy of it open here somewhere so you can see what I got. So I'm trying to get that cleared, but it don't sound like it. It sounds to me like they'll let you play the trailer, but they won't allow you to monetize your live stream because that clip's on it. So 2-minute clip can live stream. The copyright system is just absolutely crazy. And why would you copyright a trailer for
It's madness, isn't it? Come on.
Yeah, it is madness. So is this the one? I've got a few things to talk about tonight. So this is the copyright claims that you get. A&E, and it tells you what portion in your video that it happens at. So if you go to last stream at 25 minutes, so it needs to be a bit bigger. Whoop. Got the screen behind. And they got to December the 16th to answer it. And they can reject it, of course, and say, no, we're not going to give it fair use. And I'm pretty much stuffed. Because it will just go ping bong back and forth. Google admin don't get involved in it. That stupid system, it's called the context ID system. So that's why I'm a wee bit skeptical, well, not skeptical, a wee bit worried playing various video clips, because you don't know if the Google bot's going to get you. It gets you into this ping pong contest where you keep claiming it's fair use, and it'll just keep coming back and forth. And then they start threatening you, can we get your address so we can send a lawyer to your PO box or whatever, and start threatening you with money. So, yeah. And then you can sort of get Google into it if it keeps bouncing back and forth. But what happens once they've got your address is they bypass the Google system. So yeah, so I clicked on the play this match section, and sure enough, it's on that bit that I demonstrated the trailer on it. Project Blue Book. As you can see, it's a bit blurry for some reason.
It's actually based on
the 1970s show. So yeah, so it's going to be all some of the best cases of the most popular ones. Like they said, they're doing the Flaxwoods monster one first because they want to. Yeah.
I mean, we all know that Blue Book was basically Operation Debunk. It was a whitewash. It was just a public relations exercise, really.
Yeah.
But having said that, some good cases did pass through there, and some of them, especially in Deadwood Rupert, were investigated quite well. But others lacked the total lack of investigation at all. What they did was basically through phone calls and a minimum research, and they had this kind of habit of finding any explanation rather than, Occam's razor, basically.
Mm-hmm. So anyone joining us on the chat here, that's Robert in the UK talking to us, and I'm in New Zealand, so we've got a big mess of the world in between us here. So it's not going too bad. No glitches. So there's Robert there on full screen. And you can wave to the people if you want. You're on big screen. Robert?
Yeah, I'm getting a delay, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
The wave's there.
You shouldn't be getting a delay. Are you watching the Hangout screen or the YouTube one?
I'm watching the Hangout screen at the moment.
You shouldn't be getting any delay. Apparently, Robert's new computer has packed in a SAD, or what we call being munted, but he's getting a black screen when he boots up. So he's on his old laptop that has been repaired, which he reckons is better. So close that tab anyway. So yeah, that was the Project Blue Book I was talking about last time, and you can play the trailer from the movie database. Robert wasn't with us last time when I was talking about that.
So mid-January, Paul, you're saying?
8th of Jan.
8th of Jan. I don't know when we'll get it in the UK. We're usually a little bit behind with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be on Sky, one of the Sky channels at some stage.
Where is the will, there's a way. With the internet, we can find out things.
We won't go into that.
No. Yep. Not too many trolls in here at the moment, or none, I hope. It's good having everybody here. James, anyone else out there want to say hello down the side? Let yourself be known. And if Mel hasn't already asked you, do hit the like on the stream if you hang around long enough. And if you sub, you'll get your name on the screen here, embedded in the live stream. And so I wanted to talk about, before I start all the other topics tonight on ghosts and other stuff, UFOs, videos. I just want to talk about this other cool sci-fi series that came out called Origin. I had the pleasure of watching it all yesterday, and it's a cross between 2001 Space Odyssey and Alien movie. And it's pretty good. It's got some technical flaws because we talked about centripetal forces and spinning space stations. Well, when you start to watch this one, you'll see they got this 10 spinning wheels on this big spaceship that's flying to a new planet at the edge of the somewhere in our galaxy anyway. I can't remember where it was now, Sirius B or somewhere over there. So the ship can do light speed apparently. But you'll notice when they show the guy looking through the window at the very first episode that he's standing on the wrong edge of the spinning wheel to be centripetal force. As you know, it's on the far side. When you spin a bucket of water, it's always pressed against the wall of the bucket. So I suppose being sci-fi, you tend to write off those technical flaws and just say they've got some sort of strange anti-gravity with the wheels spinning. But yeah, it's pretty good FX. I put it as my number one sci-fi of 2018 actually to go and watch. The only other one that sort of was number one to start with was my Altered Carbon series, which was like movie quality effects, and it was like watching a 5-hour non-stop, well, longer than that, 10 episodes, like a 10-hour movie. So it's quite good. So if you haven't seen Altered Carbon, that's also another one to go and check out. But you can see here it's got some trailers and stuff, and unfortunately I'm not going to risk playing it because I don't want to deal with any more movie companies. Now, who's the one that's airing it? I don't know. What's it say? So you can see it's got a good rating at the moment. Where's the company name? So the story is a group of strangers struggles to survive aboard a spaceship heading to a distant planet. And there was another good movie also similar to this where they're on a spaceship called Passenger. I don't know if you ever saw that. That's more like a romance sci-fi though. And the guy gets woken up out of his capsule by mistake through also a meteorite collision that happens to cause a short in the circuit or something. So you haven't seen that movie, it's worth watching out too. So where was release dates? Anyway, I'll just post it. You can have a look at all the details yourself anyway. Okay. And Altered Carbon is another one. If most UFO people or paranormal people are into sci-fi, from what I've seen anyway, even the females, which is good, because normally females are not interested in sci-fi, so they're a limited breed of ladies. So we got Altered Carbon is another one, which is excellent. And I thought it'd be an Amazon one or a Hulu one or Netflix one. I'm not sure now. Altered Carbon. Again, we can't play the trailer because we don't want to risk.
Oh, is this a movie or series?
Altered Carbon. It's based on a book, I believe, and it's a TV series that was at early in the year, I think, it came out. And you can see this one's even got a higher rating. That's because the FX in it is just exceptional. But it's basically they can transfer their consciousness, and they can grow new bodies, and they can just pop in their conscious into a new body. So it's quite interesting. It's a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, I guess.
Terminator.
No, it's a bit like that one where he virtual reality into his head. I can't remember what it was called now.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called. And then he ends up on Mars, I think. Was that the same one? Same movie? He's done lots of movies like that, though, hasn't he? What's the other one that I was talking about? Oh, yeah, Passenger. Which is a movie, and it's worth digging up if you haven't seen it. I think it's 2016. Passengers, it's called. Not Passenger. This one here. So it's pretty much similar to the other one where they're meant to be in, what do you call it, frozen state, and something goes wrong and they get woken up and they have to figure out what's gone wrong. Why did the ship wake them up? Without spoiling too much that goes on, best to have a watch of the trailers and all those ones. There's probably a few other good movies that I've seen over the last couple of years, which I probably should have recommended as well, but we'll leave it there. So, have you had any paranormal experiences where you've heard voices on like your video cam or radio or anything like that, Robert? Or have you only heard it in your dreams?
No, I can't claim anything quite like that.
Yeah.
I certainly did have a paranormal experience when I was 15, which was witnessed by my friend. We were on the Hollyhead breakwater, northwest Wales. And yeah, we seen two guys with oil lamps, which was very unusual. This distance was around about 400 meters. Because everyone was using pressure lamps then, tilly lamps for fishing. And we moved closer to them. A friend of mine, he smoked. I didn't at the time. And he wanted to swap a few leather weights for a couple of cigarettes, so we got right over to them. And as we got really close to them, it became a bit spooky because they didn't seem to be aware of us at all. And we were making quite like a loud scrunching noise on the gravel that still covers the breakwater to this day. And they didn't seem to be aware of us at all. And they walked into an alcove, where there was only one way in and one way out. They walked into that. By this time, we'd gotten within maybe 5 meters of them, and they were dressed in like full-length oilskins, heavy weather stuff, which didn't seem appropriate for that for that evening at all.
Ghost pirates then.
Well, all I can say is that they both went into this alcove and disappeared into thin air. And my God, that's people say, "Oh, I'd love to wish a ghost." I can tell you now, I wouldn't like to see that again. I will not fish there after dark on my own again.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. A lot of people.
Yeah, but it was a little bit more to it than that, you know, Paul.
Yeah.
Because the dog, which was Patch at the time, a pretty fearless beast he was. He was like an Alsatian Labrador crossed, and he was spinning round in circles, barking.
Oh, right.
And that really unnerved us. I've never packed in my fishing gear. I left some of it behind, and it was strange because the weather changed from, you know what, one of these balmy nights where it was dead still to a westerly wind and a heavy fog coming down, where we could barely see a few feet ahead of us. And it was that breakwater's 1.5 miles long, and we were close enough to the end of it. So it was a long walk, and it was creepy. My dad said when we both got home, I woke my dad up, and he said we looked like we'd seen a devil.
Be good if you could bring up a map of where this cove is. To
find Hollyhead breakwater in the world,
right?
Stone-built breakwater in the world,
Right.
1.5 miles long. But it was 40 years in building, and there was 36 lives lost in the process, and a few of those people's lives were lost, were actually buried under the stone because it was too risky to rescue the body.
So what was it called? Hollywood.
Hollyhead.
Hollyhead. Look,
H-O, that's it. Hollyhead. If you type in breakwater.
Breakwater.
Breakwater, yeah. It should come up now. There you go.
UK have all those old classic ghost stories, like smugglers and people that drowned out.
You've got a Wikipedia entry there, Paul.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the map here.
Okay.
It'll plug my CPU probably. So there we go, Breakwater Country Park. So where's this cove? That cove there?
No. The breakwater, you can see the line running out to sea. On your right, that's the one, Paul.
And lighthouse.
Yeah, there's a lighthouse at the end.
What's this line here? Is that a bridge?
No, that is the breakwater itself.
Breakwater.
It's on the inside. There's a harbour. It's to protect shipping.
So it's like
from
concrete,
the northerly and easterly winds.
A concrete wall.
It's stone.
So they must have dumped a lot of truck quarry stuff there then.
Yeah, the quarry is nearby.
Oh, right. Now let's see if we can find some pictures then. Let's go to satellite. Now it's starting to look a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So whereabouts were you fishing in here?
We were fishing into the harbour, so your mouse is in the right area now, but we were much further along towards the end of the breakwater.
So you're in this direction over here?
No, further along the breakwater towards the end of it.
So you're on top of this fishing?
Yeah, but you need to go towards the end because we were nearly right at the end. There we go.
So you were near near the lighthouse then?
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, look at this.
There's.
You get flounders out there?
On the inside, on the outside, there's more of the docky outcrop, and
right.
They throw an awful lot of rock artificially behind the back of it to protect it from the weather.
Yeah.
because it gets hammered with the northerly winds.
So how do we get a picture of the lighthouse? So here we go. Does that show us?
Doesn't look like it.
Let's see. I don't really know when I'm clicking on this map because I don't use it much. Oh well, we'll go back out here. But it gives us an idea anyway. Got a wee bit of a hay fever, so bear with me. So
yeah, you got the lighthouse up then. Yeah, it's the Breakwater Lighthouse.
Right, here we go. So there's some pictures of it here that someone's done.
Yeah, you got a good one there. You got a video there, I think.
Yeah. I'm just a bit wary to play it though. You know what it's like with
God,
this.
yeah.
I don't want to upset people too much, but it'll probably end up being something from a TV show. Just make sure it's no TV show. Well, it's a strange name. I don't know. It was filmed when I was walking along. So it looks like it lives there. You might even know the guy.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a good place to fish.
Yeah, well, that's the back of the breakwater. That's the so you can see the inside there. There's 2 tiers.
Yep.
That's the top tier you're looking at now.
Right.
But there's a tier underneath that, which if you roll along, well,
Almost looks a wee bit like New Zealand or Christchurch.
See, there you got all the yachts there. That's in the harbour. That's what the breakwater is protecting.
Looks very nice.
Yeah, it's scenic on a nice day. It's very gloomy on a not so nice day.
What's so good about that is you don't need a boat to go fishing as well.
Very true.
So
yeah, mile and a half out to sea before you start.
So whereabouts was the ghost on this?
Right at the end of the breakwater.
I'm just trying to see where the lighthouse was. Did he have the lighthouse? Oh, there.
Okay.
There's the lighthouse.
Okay, we're very close to where I've seen it now. You can see, if you look to the right-hand side of the picture, you can see the lower tier.
See what?
And that's where you can see the lower tier.
Right down here.
Yeah.
It's a funny place.
Now, you see those railings?
Railings.
Yeah, have a look for the railings.
I can't see a railing.
Yeah, I can, but I know it inside out, don't I?
Well, railings. Looks like concrete wall here. Concrete wall there.
Move your mouse to the left and down.
There's something in the middle here. What's that? A wooden fence of some kind. Oh no, it's a block of concrete.
No.
Block of concrete. So that's another lighthouse at the end here, is it? Or is that something else?
There's only one lighthouse on there, and that's the one.
Oh no, it's a boat cell. There's a yacht.
If you look at the Stena Line ferry there.
You're saying there's a railing up here somewhere.
You've got your mouse nearly on it. Just look underneath your cursor now, and you'll see the railings.
Down here.
That's it.
Okay. Well, it's a good, strange place to see ghosts, though, isn't it? I would have thought it was near, like the embankment, or a cave, or a rocky cave, or something where you saw them.
What you can't see is the alcoves, which were, I think, used for toilets for the workers.
Right.
They began building in 1845, and it finished in 1873. So
yeah,
I don't know how long is that. 28 years, in my calculations.
Yep, they could have built a grand pyramid by then.
Yeah. Aliens built that anyway.
Yeah, you didn't have aliens helping in Wales.
No.
So what's the people saying here? Thanks for sharing. After architecture in UK, lots of buildings. Yeah.
You're saying that? That's Jamal. Yeah, Jamal, you're very right. It's actually a beautiful piece of countryside.
Anyway, if you want to watch that, I guess I'll share the link. That's a good video the guy did there. You need to make your own day trip videos and put them up for the guys to look. You could do your own ghost story. You say, well, this is where I was when it's for the ghost. So I suppose you don't go to that place anymore.
I could see how so many ghost stories. It's beyond belief.
So what time of the night did that happen?
I can tell you for a fact, we wondered how they got past us because they were further down the breakwater than we were. That didn't sound right at all because we'd have heard them going past, even if they had walked along the top tier, we'd still have heard them. So basically, they appeared out of nowhere, but we presumed because we could see them there and they were there, that somehow they had got past us. But that was the first indication that something wasn't right.
Well, let's see if anyone else has had ghost sightings in that location. Ghost Cemetery, Hollyhead, North Wales. A walk in the storm.
I don't think you'll find much on the internet about it, but I've heard a lot of tales, of my own, of other people who've seen things on there, and who I presume to be very reliable people as well,
Well, maybe you should do an EP session there and see if you can pick up any strange dialects or people talking.
Right now.
Sorry, you faded out there for some reason.
I'm just saying, I'm not doing that on my own.
Oh, right. Haunted lighthouse, it says here. Yes, so you could go there in the daytime. Hauntings not always nighttime. They do happen in daytime too. Now, I heard some interesting stories when they found the ancient Roman road that was under a building in, was it London or somewhere over there? And
I remember that case.
Yeah, and the guy was down there, archaeologist, and he said all these Roman soldiers were marching, boom, 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 went all past him and went through him. A couple of hundred of the ghosts. So that's a classic story.
Yeah, sorry, Paul.
That's all right.
Pulled each other a bit again, and he said they were on a slightly different level to him.
Yeah.
You could only see them from the knees up as they were marching through, and when they looked into the history of the place, they would have been at lower level at the time of the occurrence. So how I see that, it was some kind of a replay of the past, and they were totally unaware of him, just like those two guys that I seen on the breakwater.
Here we go. Roman soldiers march on M6, Britain's most haunted road.
I'm not sure that's the one.
No, I don't think so. This is another ghost story. The Guardian. So can we believe the Guardian? I don't know. But
the Guardian is mainstream, and it's quite rare for them to print anything like that, to be honest.
So
they won't touch your subject.
Paranormal Breakdown did a debunk on Enfield Poltergeist, and I got a bit upset about that one because to me he was saying that the lady cop was obviously lying because she changed her story, and the reporters were lying because they worked for the Mirror and all that, and I thought, you can't say that.
No.
Because he was saying it's all about money and centralizing the story and stuff, and he was saying that the girls were hoaxing it all and hoaxing the voices, and I just don't believe that, because if you try and talk with a deep voice for too long, your throat goes funny on you after a while. And they had her interviewed on lots of the case file tapes. Have you ever watched it? going on for about 10, 20 minutes with the same voice. There's no way she was faking it. I just don't believe it. She would have cracked up, or something would have slipped up somewhere. So yeah.
Well, there's two things, isn't there?
So I posted a comment. He's probably wrong, and considering that I've had paranormal experiences myself, this is the reason why I'm into this field, to try and figure out UFOs as well as paranormal, because it's all linked somehow. They're using the same, perhaps the energy levels or something.
Not many people believe that, Paul, but I do have an inkling that they could be interrelated. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally he does mostly Bigfoot breakdown. Normally he sticks to the Bigfoot ones, which are fairly obviously people in suits and stuff. This guy here. So I posted a comment and I got attacked by another person saying that I'm a complete moron and don't know anything about science and stuff. Where is it now?
Yeah, you've got to have pretty hard skin in this business, I'm afraid.
Here it is here, the Enfield Poltergeist one.
Yeah, Enfield, of course. Yeah, they made the film about.
I believe another account of the mothers witnessing a dresser moving across the floor, which caused her to call the police. Now, this is the first night, and that's the second story.
You probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, but we'll get copyright.
Now, a third story was that the mother had gone to her neighbors to investigate.
But I just want people to hear what this guy's saying about it for a couple of minutes. Then I'll let you come in. Hang on.
Investigated, and that the neighbor was the one who called police. Now, this may not sound like much, but it does fit the criteria for the evolution of a myth, where the story constantly changes, each version becoming more involved than the last. Now, a police constable, PC Pace, and another constable responded to the call. In a written report, Pace said that she saw a chair slide on the floor and was, quote, convinced that nobody there had touched it. Now, this report later changed to her seeing it levitating off the floor, and still later her claims included allegedly witnessing demonic voices, loud noises, thrown rocks and toys, overturned chairs, and children levitating. The odd thing is that even though there were two constables present, the other wasn't talking. Reports of further incidents in the house attracted considerable press attention, and the story was covered in British tabloids, the Daily Mail and Daily Mirror, both known for reporting or inventing incredible yet fake stories. The two reporters reported seeing all sorts of things tipping over or flying about. None of it was filmed. I also find it interesting how we only hear from those who support the theory who also witnessed it, yet no one has ever spoken to or noted anything from the other two children who were 10 and 7 years of age at the time, and who were also sleeping in the same room as the two older sisters. And then there's the paranormal researchers. Now, some members of the Society for Psychical Research, such as inventor Maurice Grosse and writer Guy Lyon Playfair, believe the haunting to be genuine, while others, such as professors of psychology Anita Gregory and John Beloff, were unconvinced and found evidence the girls had faked incidences for the benefit of reporters. Members of the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry include stage magicians such as Melbourne Christopher and Joe Nickel, who investigated the incidents and criticized paranormal investigators for being overly gullible, identifying various features of the case as being indicative of a hoax. So let's take writer Guy Lyon Playfair, for example, who is a huge fan of hoaxer Uri Geller. That should tell us everything we need to know about this guy, except that he reported all kinds of strange things going on inside the home. Yeah, no kidding. Then there's Maurice Grosse. He was a mechanic in the service and became a rather successful inventor. He got involved in the paranormal after his daughter had died. And here it is just a year later that he finds this family with young daughters being terrorized by a poltergeist. We'd be fools if we were to think that he went into this with an unbiased mind. He brought his trusty tape deck to record Janet's frog voice routine. Now, many have said that it would be impossible for a young girl to make this voice, and I say boulder dash. It was quite the thing back in the 70s after The Exorcist came out. The throaty voice is actually easy to do. Janet did the same during a filmed interview. I watched it and could see her lips moving, even though it was described by some to be a disembodied voice. Then at one point, Janet was asked this.
How does it feel to be haunted by a poltergeist?
It's not haunted.
Oops. So it's not a haunting after all? A slip of the tongue, maybe? And finally, there's Janet's levitation. Something witnessed by many, or so it is said. There are skeptics that say that it just looks like she's jumping off the bed. Damn, where's the film crew when you need them? Odd how she wasn't levitated feet first.
Anyway, I'll leave it there. So yeah, I commented on that one because there's a lot more to that case that he's not talking about here. And then I talked about in the comments, which I won't probably look at. I said, I got this one wrong, mate. I've looked at all the docos on this and case files. And 2 cops visited and saw chairs moving on their own. And remember, looking at the reporters, they said there was no one there. The bricks were just coming out of air. The girls are upstairs. So, yeah, I don't know how the girls could have faked throwing go bricks. But I got sort of attacked on that one.
Yeah, and don't forget, those police officers certainly have nothing to gain at all.
No.
Going on record.
But like most cops, if they see something crazy, they're not going to ruin their career by saying, yeah, I saw it, blah, blah, blah. And that's why one was silent and the other one wasn't. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'll post it down the side there if you want to watch it again and have your say on it, on the discussions there. But there is a good movie, The Enfield, Poltergeist. So I wasn't going to talk about ghost stories, but it's still a fascinating topic. It's the first documented poltergeist case. I never even heard about it until I found it on the internet. And my parents... Sorry?
I think it was in the 80s, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, we had left UK by then, but there is a documentary. I remember they made a new series up, a drama series as well. So I think this is a documentary here, the Channel 4 one, 2007. It's a really good one, showing it being investigated and talking and interviewing everybody. And then you got this one down here. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I think it's a different one. Enfield Poltergeist True Story, BBC. And yeah, I'm not sure if I can play any of those where she's talking. So unfortunately, we're sort of hampered by all this copyright stuff. It sort of limits our creativity and discussion, really, of all that nonsense. But yeah, it'd be good to play a clip of her talking with a rough voice. Yeah. But I got into a discussion with another guy that was on that video. What was he now? Gotta be at the top, probably. And then I got some guy attacking me. Oh, this guy here, I think. Po397, he's been attacking me. But this guy here, the Chinese guy, is it? Oh. I didn't mean to click that. I was meant to open up my comments.
Face down or straight?
Yeah, so it's under his one. Oh, yeah, you can see it's got 10 replies here. I was meant to click on that. I've studied the paranormal for 25 years, ever since I was a kid, and I agree with Para. I have to agree, having had paranormal stuff happen to me and my family sister that can't be explained away. So I talk about that phone light and tripod, and then pile of absolute bollocks, someone says here. There has never been and probably never will be any evidence to support the supernatural. The Enfield case was ridiculous media bonanza. Grossy made quite a bit of exposure and pennies from all of it. And then this guy's saying he's got no time for debunkers. And I just said that I'm not a debunker above, and I even posted a link which probably won't show up. Looks like it got deleted. Link to the video where they can watch it. So what have we got here? I said, hope someday your experience. As when it happens, it's pretty cool. Or in Robert's case, it's pretty scary. And seeing the demon cat jumping on IR cam from the Ghost Story Season 2, Episode 1. That's what happened to me. I had like a ghost demon jump on me as well, which I talk about in that paranormal video. So you can't, it's really hard to share stuff to people because they don't go and visit your channels to have a look to see what you mean. But yeah, there was a lot of debate there, and some guy was saying that I should return my qualifications to university. Whereabouts was that one? Still be there somewhere. But yeah, they sort of attacked me on that. They weren't willing to listen. They were like typical scientists. That's where nothing strange has ever happened to them that they can't. It sort of changes their whole world view, reality. You know, until it happens, they can't accept. They think everything's mathematics and sets and concrete, but it's not. So yeah, there's a lot of good UFO cases out there. Another thing to watch is the one called The Entity. It's a movie, but it was meant to be based on the true ghost story.
Yeah, it was an American girl, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they took a lot of creative license, and a lot of it wasn't actually true in the movie, but the movie was probably more scary. And if I ever want to scare a girl, I normally play that late at breeze blowing the curtains open, and you play that movie, it just freaks them out, especially when that particular scene happens. Well, you know what I mean, because the demon attacks her. So yeah.
It was Incubus.
Yeah, well, they probably call it that technically, I guess, where they sort of have
that right down throughout history.
Yeah. So yeah, you just have to watch the movie. It's an old one. It's a very hard one to find, but it's on the line somewhere if you search for it. It's called The Entity, and I think, what year was it? Well, maybe I should just do a search for it. You can talk now if you want.
Yeah, The Entity, I think it was in the 1970s. Just have a quick look.
Here we go. Of course, we can't play any trailers. Again, we've been sort of hampered. 1982. It's one of my favorite movies, actually, for paranormal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the one movie I watch regularly, anyway.
Yeah, movie came out in 1982. The events, I think, were in the 70s.
Yeah.
But it's a very good film. It's
yes, but if you look at the real case file for it, they got some really crazy videos and photos from the real investigation. It's meant to be the first documented paranormal case in America, I think. done by a university. So, yeah, they actually had a department called psychology or something like that, something like that. And I think the Ghostbusters was based on this particular group at university as well, which is another one of my favourite movies, which is with Bill Murray. He's just hilarious. So, and they had some decent effects in that. Oh, what's happened here? Yeah, so Roman troops on the road in UK. Now, it'd be good if someone could actually video those. But that's the thing is, sometimes you don't see the ghosts on camera. I think it's only in the what you call the mind's eye, where it affects your EMF, the electrons in your brain, for your visual center, not sensor, and you get to see what's there. But I think it depends on your brain chemistry as well. I think it must be, because some people will never ever see a ghost, while others will see them quite often. But not only that, there's physical stuff, and
Hey, Paul, could I just cut in there?
yeah, I'll just close that one down. Yep, you can. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I doubt that concept to some degree, because when I had my sighting, I wasn't alone. So how was it possible for two people?
Well, you both got
Seen
you both got brains which can have the same EMF field applied to them, which on your brain to see the same thing. So it is possible. It is possible, but
yeah, go with that one. Yeah, that's plausible.
But I often thought whether ghosts could be interdimensional rather than spirit ghosts from humans, and they might take the form of humans and mimic humans that they've seen there. So people think they're seeing the dead people passing on, when it could be some of these entity beings from another dimension or whatever. So there's lots of stuff to really try and wrap your head around, and try and prove it scientifically is another thing. But as you said, some of the comments that I got was, you'll never prove paranormal with science because it's not real. Everyone was saying that on there. So if you go and have a look at Paranormal Breakdown. So I want to talk about EVPs. Now, do you believe EVPs to be true? Is anyone out there that thinks they're later people just hearing things in the static on the recordings? You know what EVPs are? Basically, you just get a cassette recorder or solid state recorder now, MP3, and just record while you're talking in a haunted location. And when you play it back, you hear some other voices there that clearly wasn't there when wasn't heard when you were talking. But somehow that again breaks down to the EMF thing. How can you get sound onto a media player if it's not coming through the speaker? Well, obviously it's got to come from electromagnetic wave that affects the coils or the circuit in the device and puts a voice over top of yours. So there you go. There's a sort of an EMF connection there. But here's an example of an EMF. I think it's safe to play. I will plug the channel. Tracy, 2012. I don't know if she's putting up anything else, but there's an example of spirit voice. So if people have not seen.
Extremely hot water, they would wrap their body in plastic and then put them in and take them out, and then put them in really cold water really quick, like to shock their system, or vice versa. And take them out and then put them in really cold water really quick, like to shock their system, or vice versa.
So I don't know if you can hear it, but it does sound like a whispering person. And I reckon it's saying, please help me. So that's another thing, is often they'll tell you what they hear, which puts a puts a suggestion in your head straight away. And often when they say it's this word, I listen to it and I think, hear another word. You know, they might say it sounds like leave, and I might hear it as a breathe or something like that. It sounds very similar, you know what I mean? And it's the power of suggestion. And of course, we've got debunkers on EPVs, which I don't agree with, although some of their claims is true that devices can pick up static, and you might hear that, but you can't say when you get class A EVPs, as they call it, which is very clear. I don't know if you watched Josh Gates' Paranormal that was on TV recently from Expedition Unknown, but they were in the bottom of Queen Elizabeth, the ship, and it's below the water line, and they're in there, and they ask a question, and no one's you can see it on the video. No one else is talking when they're answering the questions, and then they play back the recorder, and you can hear clear as day what it's saying. It's saying, "I'm stuck," and then they play further along, and then it says, "Help me." So you could hear it clear as day, and they didn't have to suggest it to me. But you watch that, and it's quite good. But I will talk about some other devices that are used in a minute, which has some issues with the torches and the what's it called? Kinect, Microsoft Connect, where they get the stickmen. So here they're talking about trying to debunk the electronic voices, which entirely, as I was saying. What do you think on EVPs? Have you watched any ghost shows and listened to all the playbacks, Robert?
UK here, like, which visit these historians, doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened to me once in a lifetime, so I don't see really how they can go out and do it every week.
Yeah, you don't know if it's a TV show, whether they're sort of adding it in after, or
yeah, of course, yeah,
or using some sort of method to add the voice in, while it's live, while it's being recorded. But but here you got a sound engineer saying that he's using high quality equipment, but I don't think the gear they use on the TV shows is very cheap. So they talk about some of the tape recorders being like $1,000 to buy. So they're not just cheap Chinese $15 things. I use much higher standard recording equipment built to higher standard tolerance. That being said, I've never heard from the dead, and I've been listening to tape and hard disk recordings for years. But he's never gone to a paranormal location, I bet. And of course, ghosts are not. People say ghosts are not like people can't accept them or whatever, so they won't respond to them. But yeah, if you want to have a read what they're saying there about EVPs, anyway, I'll just put it down the side. Hey, we lost the sub. I wonder who left this time. So
don't know. We've got 4 watching.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll probably. I was up to 51 a couple of days ago. Now it's back down again. I wonder if I ever reach 1,500 in another year.
You will.
So did anyone actually here help me on that one though? I should post it on the side there. Did I post it already? Got a lot of links here. No one's talking on the side. Is Jamal there, or have you gone away? Have you gone to bed?
Jamal said he was leaving at midnight, so he'd be close to.
Well, it's half an hour still.
Yeah.
So Yeah, if I was doing this, I'd probably amp it really up and see if we can hear what it was saying. Can we get it louder? We can get it a wee bit louder. Let's see.
Or vice versa. And take them out and put them in really cold water really quick, like to shock their system, or vice versa.
See, that's not very good EVP, I don't think, but it does sound like it's got 3 syllables there, though. But that could be someone whispering in the background, you know, who's doing the filming. So you don't really know. But like I said, you got to watch a lot of paranormal shows, and there are some really good ones where you can clearly see they're not faking it, because they've got too many camera angles and whatnot. So that brings me to the kinetic. How do you say that one? Kinetic. So it's basically it looks at the IR signature, I guess, the thermal signature, and it tries to work out from IR sensors where the limbs are of people, so you can play without having game controllers and all that. So it picks out.
Well, surely a ghost would never leave behind a thermal signature.
Well, apparently they do catch them on thermal camera. So now this is. So now what they're doing is they're using this technology from Microsoft, which has software that sort of interprets different gradients in temperature and tries to work out. All it's focused on is trying to find in the room what it's looking at is a person. So what happens is anywhere that's got heat signature, that will try to map on here, and they're sort of showing it here with some images. So when someone bends over, it sort of works out through the thermal imager whereabouts they are. And here's some examples here. But the problem with this is this guy here is standing with no clothes on, by the looks of it, and it's reflecting the heat off the fridge door, so his body is mapping onto the fridge door. So you can see when you watch those ghost shows that there could easily be a reflection from the cameraman. They talk about a little person. It could be even just a hot spot on the wall where it tries to use the software to map on. And here's some examples here, more examples. Where it's trying to map a little person down the bottom here, which is something he's picking up. So when Ghost Adventures uses that, I sort of go, again. Yeah, they don't try and debunk it, you know, because the little men shows up, you know, they say, can you show yourself? And they'll gradually move around the camera, and then it'll pick up a shape like this one's doing here. Oh, look, you've got a little demon dog lapping at your leg or whatever. And then it will suddenly disappear because the temperature changes. So, and there's another one here somewhere. Where the guy also talks about it. And as you can see, there's a lot of reading. But I'll just abbreviate what they're trying to say. And blah, blah. The Xbox Connect does not play well with couch potatoes. So it's got a lot of problems because it's software, it's trying to interpret stuff. So what about when this ghost stick figure interacts with a living person or enters the scene? There's a few things to consider when answering this. First off, tracking is still dependent on the depth of sensor. So if the end of the couch is causing a stick figure, and you're standing next to the couch and reach your arm out, and the depth sensor is going to read you as either part of the couch, thus extending the stick figure created by the couch. So yeah, they've gone through and analysed it all to see where all the problems are. And here you go. He's got one that's mapped onto a bookshelf. Now this is very common in those guys on TV. The guy would be standing here talking, and suddenly something will appear on the bookshelf. Next to him, saying there's a creature on the bookshelf jumping onto you. And here's a vacuum cleaner that's mapped a body shape to it, and it's just standing there. And obviously, it's got hot spots on it where they think limbs are. Well, the software thinks the limbs are. So there are some really good articles about the problems of it. I did do a funny thing with the guys. Let's see if I can find a graphic. I think it might be in here. Secure team fans. Let's see. I hope I put it in here. Oh, here it goes. Here's a good one. Now, these apparently are real quotes done by the Ghost Adventures thing, and he had a on there, and I sort of modified it a wee bit. And the quotes are, dude, I think he liked you. I think like 2 drops of pee came out on that one for sure. And that's the actual quote that Aaron said, apparently. And this is a quote that Sack said. If we get cold spots tonight, guys, well, that's probably a damn ghost, because there's no little cold spots in this place. So got lots of hundreds of quotes from their show like this where they say silly things. So, yeah. I'll just switch back to the desktop. Where is it? So you can have lots of fun with those guys anyway. So I'll post that article here because this one is pretty good on the vacuum cleaner being detected. Jabal's still with us. You reckon I should have 1 million subs?
Yeah.
Well, we talk about a lot of interesting stuff, don't we? And we also
well said, Jamal.
We try and point out the problems with it too, and it's not that we don't believe in paranormal. We just don't trust like what the equipment they're using to verify it. That's all. And they don't point out these problems, and they just people get sucked in. So often, sometimes they go to a place and they hear sounds like a screech, and I'm listening to it, being my critical mind, and I think, that sounded like a cat or a bird being killed by a cat outside, or something in the loft, you know. And they don't think of that. They say, they say, oh, that's a little girl scream, because they've prepped the people saying that they're in this place and there was a girl that died from TB or something, right? So then they hear the screech sound and they straight away assume it's the screech of a female, and they say they're the best ghost hunters team and debunk stuff, but there's been lots of cases like that where they haven't done proper debunking. Now they should really try and debunk stuff. Hey Renee, how's it going? Oh, it's gone to the side. Well, I'm asleep. Oh well, you can watch it offline when you're not asleep. So there's this article here, which is also a good read about this device they use on ghost shows all the time now. Now, there's a show that I like to watch. It's a girl called Amy. She uses a lot of old school methods to try and communicate. And she uses quite a wide range of different equipment over 3 days out of place. because I like that, because these guys go to one place and they sort of do it for a day or whatever, and these other people do it for a whole weekend. Like Nick Croft has got a new show called Paranormal Lockdown, which I quite like that one as well. So since we mentioned it, I'll just bring it up and search. So Amy's got a show called Kindred Spirits. Have you seen that one?
I haven't personally, no.
They've got some really good evidence on it, I think. The thing is, they get names said on EVP, which is clear as day. You can hear a name, and when they research the place, they find that someone actually lived on that land with that name, which is quite interesting. And to me, that's sort of proof that. And when they find out the gory details that they were murdered or something like that, then it sort of adds more into why the place is haunted. So, yeah, Kindred Spirits TV show. And it's got that guy from International Ghost Hunters International. He was meant to be on that. I think he's gay. I think he was gay. Can't remember what his name was now. So they try different attack than the Ghost Adventures. They're sort of respectful to anyone that might be there, and they seem to get different results. So Kindred Spirits is one of my favourite now. I think Ghost Adventures and Taps and a few other ones become too commercial. It's all about the money. And you can see this one's got a fairly high rating still. Normally, people will slam it, I suppose, in the comments. Reviews is always a good place to look, see what other people are saying. But this show, because it's the only show that really investigates who it is and what they want, and no either show, I'm not sure what that's saying. No, I think they mean no other show really does that. In every other show, Friday, I know it's this, it's really this. So I'm not too sure what they're saying, but basically what I said, it's a really good show for some interesting background checks and looking up in the local library facts and stuff. After they go to a person and say what's happening, and then they go find out some details. What was the other one? Paranormal Lockdown was the other one. Which is only playing in UK at the moment, so only you can watch it, Robert. No one else can, unless they find other ways on the internet.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a few clips there on these movie database, so go and check them out. Well, I should really start to do some UFO stuff. What have I typed wrong? Lockdown, that's right, isn't it? Oh, no,
Yeah,
here it is.
right. Top one.
Yeah. So it's got Nick Croft from the original Ghost Adventures. He left the group. Not too sure what happened there, but everyone thought he couldn't put up with SAC anymore and decided to go his own way, which is possible. But I understand they're still good friends, so I think they parted on good terms anyway. But I think it's been good for Nick, because he started off doing a rubbish show. I can't remember what it was called now, but it had these two guys that kind of remind me of people on drugs, basically, or from a mental hospital. What was it called now? And I didn't like his first show at all. It was rubbish. And then now he wasn't actually in it at all. Then he did another show, and then he eventually did Paranormal Lockdown. Oh, right, yeah, the Ghost of what is it called now? Shepherdsville or something like that, which is also a really interesting show about the most haunted city in America. So he did that one and Paranormal Lockdown. I might actually have it in the list here. Did I post the link? I did, yeah. And it's got some good reviews here too, I guess. But he did the Black Monk house up in UK there. It's meant to be a famous location. They caught some apparitions on full spectrum. So it's well worth having a watch of it and just have a look at the footage they captured. Plus they got this little black blob that ran across the floor. It ran back out. It was like I don't know, something from a sci-fi almost. Now you could see this defined black shape, and it was during the day. You could see it was clear as day, because normally a lot of the stuff is done in nighttime, but these guys have stepped it up and started doing daytime investigation as well as nighttime. So they've been catching different stuff, which is a really good show. So on to the next bit. So we can close that down there. So the other thing is they start using torches, and apparently it's a trick. And this guy talks about it here from Screen Freak. I suppose he's with a paranormal thing. I'll post it on the side. It's about torches. You know how they use the torches and say turn it on, turn it off? Well, this sort of blows it wide open that it's a trick. And it can't be used for serious investigations at all. And it only works with a certain brand of torch as well. Magnum lights, I think. Or the cheap Chinese ones where it screws on. So, have you seen this about the torches before? So, where should I start it from?
I have not. Nope.
Have you seen the torches being used on the paranormal shows? Now, Josh Gates and Kindred Spirits did it on that show, a recent episode of. He was looking at Afterlife. It was a 4-part mini special sort of thing. And it was on the 4th part where they join up with the Kindred Spirits guys, and they put 3 torches out and they sort of light up to the questions. But when you watch this, you realise it could easily be random and can't be used as a serious topic. Forgot to unmute him.
The entire video before you leave those, because I may answer those at the very end. So make sure you watch the video in its entirety before you leave any comments. We've had our flashlight running for a couple of minutes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly twist it to where it just cut off. There it is. Now we're going to set it down and we're going to ask, if there are any ghosts in here, can you please come over and turn my flashlight on? As you can see, bumping, it's not doing anything. If there are any ghosts, can you please turn my flashlight on? We're going to sit here and we're going to wait and we're going to see if we have a ghost in here. I mean, after all, that's what paranormal investigation is all about, setting and waiting. There's a lot of setting and a lot of waiting, so you have to be patient. Hello, any ghost here? Can you please turn my flashlight on?
There you go.
It happened. There's definitely a ghost in here. That's the only logical explanation. What's happening is when you're running this flashlight, it's getting hot. The insides of the light's getting hot. The metal's getting hot. When metal gets hot, it shrinks.
No, it expands.
So when you turn this flashlight off,
his science is wrong there, but basically what he's saying is they normally have the torch on before they turn it off, and it heats up, obviously, and then it turns off. And when it cools, the metal shrinks, and then it sort of makes contact the way it's designed inside. And then when it comes back on, obviously, that it keeps repeating again. So there's another guy here that did a full experiment on it here. I'm not sure what country he comes from, but he sounds like he might be from Netherlands or somewhere like that. What kind of name is that? Verlagesper. Could be German, I guess. Some ghost hunters use flashlights to communicate with ghosts, typically, and performing ghost hunter turns the lights on. So I think
maybe in German, but I'm not sure. But he's sure it's not a nickname. Casper was. You remember Casper the Ghost, the film?
well, I'll play a wee bit of the next one in a minute, but you'll see this will turn off
For a few minutes. So now it's good and hot. It's shrunk, all the metal shrunk. And when you turn it off, it starts to cool down. Now, as it starts to cool down, that metal slowly starts to expand. And as it expands, it completes that connection, causes that light to come on. Nothing paranormal about it. Now, here's the real tip.
So it just turned off.
Didn't even have to ask. Didn't even have to ask. We not only have a ghost here, but we have a psychic ghost. Now, what just happened there was the light was running and it was starting to heat up. And as it was heating up, it was shrinking. And it got to that point where we turned it off and it broke that connection and caused the light to turn off. If there are any ghosts here, can you turn? I don't believe it. I've never seen anything like this before. There's a ghost here turning this flashlight on and off before I even say it.
So the best way is to get one of these torches and have a play yourself and see what happens and see if you can repeat it. So get onto this other guy. He goes on for, 21 minutes about how he investigated it all. And yeah, he talks about the metal and how when you look at it at the microscope, it's all rough surface and it's not really flat like how you see it with the eye. And he says it arcs across the atoms and vaporizes it, so it switches off. And he goes into a lot of detail on this one. So, all right, okay, mate. If you're going to bed, we'll catch you next live stream. Hopefully, it'll be Wednesday. We've got a lot of stuff to cover still. How we're going 1.5 hours. We haven't even got to the UFO stuff, but this is the last bit on the ghosts anyway. Robert's gone to the toilet, I think. So I'll just play what's a wee bit of his video here. Oh, he's still here. Yeah, good night, mate. I'll post a link for it. And you can watch the full one tomorrow. But if we play this bit here, you can
This
see...
observation does not only indicate that the trick really depends on the heat of the lamp. We can now also identify the piece that needs to be heated up to start the cycle. If the trick works mainly because of the reflector heating up and cooling down, then it should be enough to heat up only the reflector to initiate the cycling. You can take a hairdryer to separately heat up the reflector before reconstructing the lamp. If the reflector's thermal deformation is not involved in the flashlight trick, then nothing should happen, just as nothing happens when the trick is started with a cold flashlight. But as it turns out, the heat up of the reflector is actually enough to initiate the cycling. Let's try to figure out what exactly is happening. When the light bulb goes on, then the reflector expands and presses the switch cylinder down until contact is broken. Conversely, when the light bulb goes off, then the reflector contracts and reduces pressure on the switch cylinder until contact is made. However, there is something missing in this picture. When the lamp switches on, then why does it stay on for such a long time? Conversely, why does the lamp stay off for such a long time, sometimes even for many minutes? Let's do some temperature measurements. Here, the temperature of the front plate is measured. This is not the same as the temperature inside the lamp, because the IR thermometer also captures reflections of the heat radiated by the light bulb, but it gives us a rough idea of the temperature progression. Now, when the lamp switches on, the temperature rises sharply. So we would expect the reflector to quickly expand, but there is solid contact. The lamp doesn't even flicker. Only after a while, when the temperature is increasing more and more slowly, the lamp goes off. Now the temperature drops sharply, but again, the contraction of the reflector doesn't seem to have an immediate effect on the light. How can this happen?
At some point, I just so put the flashlight to my ear and listened to whatever sound it made. And I found another phenomenon. In fact, you can hear a tiny clicking sound right before the lamp goes on. Here is an amplified recording of that.
So, as you can see, he's doing scientific tests on it, and he talks about the metal surface being rough under the microscope, and it sort of creates an arc because a thin layer touches on the contact.
The last spot of contact heats up and melts. By this, a bridge of molten metal forms between the contacts. As the bridge gets longer and thinner, its electrical resistance increases. This decreases the current flow, and the lamp dims down, and the reflector stops expanding. What is now happening is basically the same that happens when the hot filament of a light bulb is exposed to air. It burns out. The contact bridge is so hot that it starts to vaporize. Because the contact bridge is not pure metal, but contaminated with oxides and other material, there are spots in the bridge where relatively few conducting metal is present. These spots heat up even more, and the heat causes them to vaporize even faster. This vicious cycle gets even worse because the hot metal is exposed to air, so it is rapidly oxidizing. In the end, the hottest spot of the bridge explodes. This stops current flow, the reflector contracts and causes the switch to re-establish contact at the remains of the bridge. This happens quickly because the pressure is now concentrated on a small area. As the contact point melts, it may happen that the contacts are welded together again. But even if this happens, sooner or later the expansion of the reflector will break the weld.
So yeah, he's holding on. So I'm just trying to work out the diagram.
The loose contact position, and it goes off, it will not go on again. When trying the trick with a cold flashlight, how sensitive the flashlight is when being in a loose contact state, a turn of nearly 3 degrees seems more than enough to switch the flashlight on or off. But there are 2 more experiments that support the idea that the blinking of the flashlight is driven by thermal deformations of the reflector. The first experiment is actually the simple observation that the flashlight trick does not work when the flashlight is at room temperature. If the flashlight has been off for a longer time and you immediately switch it to the loose contact position and it goes off, it will not go on again. When trying the trick with a cold flashlight, you need to switch it on for at least 20 to 30 seconds before making loose contact. Otherwise, there will be no on-off cycle. This observation does not only indicate that the trick really depends on the heat of the lamp. We can now also identify the piece that needs to be heated up to start the cycle. If the trick works mainly because of the reflector heating up and cooling down, then it should be enough to heat up only the reflector to initiate the cycling.
So where's his diagram again? I'm just trying to figure out his diagram. So where's the two connection points? One's going to the battery here, and the other one's going to ground. So it's got to be touching here, isn't it? So if it heats up, it would push it down this direction, wouldn't it? It would go downwards, so it would break the circuit, and then it would turn off. I think that's what they're saying. Because of the metal edge of the torch, it pushes down and turns it back off from the on position.
Yeah, what's it exactly trying to measure, Paul? Is it cold spots or?
No, what they do is they turn it on. They turn it on to that funny state where it's very easy to trigger it, and then they simply say, "Can you turn that torch on?" And then they wait for it to be turned on by the ghost. And as we just seen, it's sort of random. That's based on the heat cycle.
Pseudoscience.
Pseudo paranormal science, which makes a bit of a life and stock of the paranormal community. Doesn't mean the subjects is pseudoscience. It just means that the methods or some of the tools they're using should not be used.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, no bearing on the situation, I think.
So first it was the TAPS people that come out with the torch thing. I think it was them that first. And then everybody started doing it. So then they started adding 3 torches to it. So they do 3 torches in a row, and they would say, "Can you turn on the right one?" But because it's random, it will eventually come on. And then they'll be talking away, discussing, and then suddenly they'd be, "Whoa, it's come on finally!" And then they say, "Can you turn it off again?" And of course, as we've just seen in the video, it cools down, it heats up, and then it pushes the metal contact just enough, micro millimeters or whatever, to turn it back off. And then it cools down, and of course, then that sort of goes back the other direction where it's touching again. So it's alternating through the heat. So that other guy was trying to explain it, but he was saying that when it heats up, the metal shrinks. But he's talking about the switch is pushed down. That's what he should have been saying. As this heats up, the metal expands, and then finally it breaks contact. So yeah, I can see what they're saying. What this guy's done, he's actually put it to the test. So I don't know what country he's in, but
the light bulb goes on, then the reflector expands.
Let's just have a look at his other specs on this one. But I'm still surprised that Josh Gates was using it in his recent one, even though we've got all this evidence online now that says don't use them because it's misleading. And I would have thought that Amy from TAPS would know this and not to include it in her investigations because it makes her look a drip. So what other stuff has he got here? Orbs. It's the waking up that's the problem I find. Psychedelic blob. Creating EVP through ultrasound. So he's probably going to try and debunk that. But we already talked about that, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of them you can debunk, and others you just can't. It's just too clear. Depends what sort of class EVP it is, of course. So does it say what his country is? Looks like he's disabled it. Normally it says in the About tab, I think, what country you're in. Not too sure then. What did you think his accent was? Finnish, Swedish, Dutch, German?
Scandinavian anyway.
Yeah. So we get on to the UFO stuff now.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring up those ones because people are not aware of the torch being a problem, and also the Xbox camera stickmen and EVPs sort of I'm interested in. If you ever listen to Coast to Coast, Art Bell used to be on there, and he used to have a show called Ghost to Ghost, and he used to do it every Halloween in America, and he used to have a paranormal group come on to show their best evidence, and obviously because it's only radio, you only get to hear the EVPs, but some of those were very creepy. They sort of stuck a recording on a tombstone and got some girl crying, like a young kid crying. And of course, it's in the middle of the morning where there shouldn't be any kids, and there's no other animal sounds, and you could hear the girl talking on it. So if you want to go and dig up all those old classic Art Bell ghost shows, they're a good listen to, especially if you want a freaky night, want to be scared. So
yeah, he gave up in the end, didn't he?
Who did?
Art Bell.
Yeah. No.
He stopped doing UFO stuff.
He didn't give up.
He claimed he was him and his family were threatened. I don't know.
That was when he come back onto the scene, but initially, wasn't there some sort of argument on Coast to Coast, and he left them and went to Philippines to live? I think he needed to get away from all the publicity there and go to another place, because he was he married a few Filipinos, didn't he? Didn't he have a couple?
Okay. Huh.
I think he had a few wives, didn't he? Didn't he have two or three wives or something over his lifespan?
I've never looked into his personal life, to be honest, but he was an interesting man.
Well, his latest wife was only like 34, and he was like 77, so...
Okay, yeah.
So if you want a wife, go to Philippines.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be too fuzzy, long as you got money.
Exactly, it's a good way to empty your bank account.
But yeah, I kind of like Art Bell. He was easy to listen to, and although he seemed to believe too much, and
so
I think he wasn't skeptical enough, and he didn't answer the harder questions. But if you do, then it puts away listeners, as you know. It does on my channel. If you tell them, well, this is actually what you're seeing, they switch off. So
yeah.
We were talking about IR cameras, and my mate sent me this guy's video today. Talking about IR cameras and thermal cameras, and it's quite a good listen. I just wonder if I can get away with playing it. Roswell, his channel is called Roswell Flight Test Center. So obviously he's into UFOs, I think. So he talks about here, I'll just skim through it, about the infrared spectrum. And he shows, well, we'll play it from there. He shows the stuff that it won't pass through, the heat. Well, it's not heat. It's electromagnetic wave, which we feel is heat. I should say that.
This is what I look like in the white hot color palette. Notice that my face is white because you're seeing my body temperature at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. My clothes appear to be darker because they're masking a portion of my body. This is what I look like in the black hot color palette. And this is a color palette called Iron Bow. Now that we understand the basics, let's have some fun. If you ever watch spy movies, you probably think thermal imaging can see through walls. It can't, and I'll prove it. I'm standing on the other side of this door, but you can only see me after I open it. However, thermal imaging is very sensitive to temperature changes. So if I touch the wall right here for a moment, and then take my hand away, you can see the heat that I've left behind. Glass allows visible light to pass right through it, but it blocks thermal emissions.
That's quite amazing that it actually you can't see through glass, you know. So that could mean you could do some tricks with that to try and trick people with ghosts stuff as well, couldn't you? And UFO stuff, of course. But you can see it's only a thin plate of glass. It's not very thick. If we zoom in, doesn't look very thick.
Interesting.
And yet it blocks all the heat signature through the infrared. Ross Rene saying Philippines, yeah, that's where you're from, is it?
Scary, huh? You would think that if thermal imaging is good for anything, it would be revealing which of these metal canisters contains hot coffee and which one contains ice water. You can see they look the same on the thermal imaging camera. Just so we're clear, there's nothing tricky going on here. These are plain metal cylinders. They aren't insulated or anything. The reason we can't see a difference is because just like a mirror reflects visible light, the metal surface reflects the surrounding thermal energy rather than what's inside the container. In order to tell the difference, I put a piece of electrical tape on the back of each one, which absorbs the temperature inside and reveals it for the camera.
So obviously white is hot and black is cold on that thermal camera setting.
Which absorbs the temperature inside and reveals it for the camera.
So there, we just zoom in. So obviously that one's got the cold water in it, or ice water, and that one's got the coffee, because it's looking like his face there, 37 degrees Celsius.
Firefighters like thermal imaging equipment because it allows them to see right through smoke. Smoke is like glass in reverse. It blocks visible light, allows thermal light to pass right through it. In order to demonstrate how thermal imaging can see through smoke, I brought along some
infrared camera would cost you, or infrared lens. You're looking at £2,000.
You mean a thermal camera? Because infrared you get on home security cameras, and you only get for about $40 upwards.
Yeah, but I mean something that's that's really good for sky watching.
Yeah, that you'd have to watch that episode. I'm not sure. Were you around for that Starlight one I did?
I don't know.
It was like a 3 or 4 hour live stream I did, and I was talking about.
Excuse me.
I was talking about the camera tech, how to detect alien abductions.
Oh well, that's difficult. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I was talking about Faraday cages and all that, and I was talking about telling Il Gray from MUFON that he should try some of these new cameras out and all that. Were you with that one or not? I can't remember if you were on that one.
Was that one of your first?
No, it's a few episodes back. Let's see. Renee's probably watched it. So,
Rene Cruz. Is that Spanish or is that maybe America? You know, sounds that way.
What are we looking at here? Rene Cruz, Filipino, I think he said.
I don't know. I think we were talking about the Philippines. He might just have been called.
Yeah. No, he said he's got family there. But he's working in South Africa, or he travels around a bit. I think he goes in America as well, don't you, Rene? He's very secretive. Doesn't talk much about himself. But in a way, let's see if I can find this one about the. I haven't been doing thumbnails lately because I've been showcasing the various artwork. But I'll go back to creating proper thumbnails next live probably. Where's the thermal? There's a picture of a camera on there. don't think it was back that far. That was Skinwalker Ranch stuff, and although they were two good ones, and I don't think you were on the second one. I know you're on the second one, but not on the first one. Can't remember now. So I think it was.
Yeah, one of them. But I did leave a little early. I think I left about 2-3 hours in, something like that.
Yeah.
I think QQ was the one I was on with all.
Oh, here it is. Here, this one here, live stream. It's got off the edge of the screen. Alien abductions capturing IP cams. So we're talking about these new cameras that can see stars in the sky. I'm pretty sure you're on it. Let's look, I guess.
No, don't worry about it now.
See if your picture's on the side or not. I know Jamal was there.
It's like about 50 dB.
Oh, no, looks like I had no side guests on, looking at the side chat here. So you haven't watched that one then? About Faraday cages and the cameras.
No.
Doesn't look like it. You weren't there. So I'll post that one down the side there so you can bookmark it or whatever. That was a good one. I even gave it to Il from MUFON to watch, and I think he liked it. So go and check it out. We cover a lot of subjects anyway. So I want to actually get a camera like this, but I ain't got the money. So I have to get a laptop to replace this dying one first.
Yeah.
And then I want to put this above the roof line, maybe on a pole, so I can take it down and keep it good instead of leaving it outside to be hit by hailstones and 100-mile-an-hour wind like we get here sometimes. But you can see this one's sort of meant to be under the eaves of the house, more likely, so it's protected. So I was talking about whether you should get a dome one, which is vandal proof, where you can throw stones or bricks at it and it just bounces off it, which would be ideal. Turning it upside down and using it to watch planes coming in at night time. I'll eventually will do that, or add it to the stream sometime, and when I get the technology, and then we'll have a little screen on the side here just underneath chatters, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we can see stuff cut in the sky in Christchurch here, and then we can actually have a look on the big screen and watch how the airplanes lights look at night time. Or whether we see something amazing like a fireball.
Yeah, might get lucky.
Might get lucky, or might even see a UFO. So back to this guy's video. So here we got a picture of someone in a smoky room. You can't see anything on the visual spectrum, but in thermal, clear as day pretty much, but it's black and white, of course. So also I was talking about the new cameras can see now, and that they make it in proper color rather than black and white. So even nighttime vision now is color, full color. So you can see skin tones and blue lights and red lights and green lights, not just black and white anymore. So that's pretty good. And again, affordable for like $100. But if you've watched that episode I just posted here on these new cameras, you'll see what I mean.
Thermal light to pass right through it. In order to demonstrate how thermal imaging can see through smoke, I brought along some props to do a practical demonstration.
Stop! Not in here.
All right, let's take a look now at how fog is different from smoke. I'll use a block of dry ice and a bowl of water to create artificial fog, and let's see what happens. Fog blocks both visible light and thermal emissions. We don't have nearly enough fog here to completely obstruct the view, but you get the idea.
So this is steam, which she's saying is fog, cold water fog. And you can see here it blocks out some of the IR or thermal energy. Well, the smoke, it passed straight through. So water has an effect. It absorbs more than smoke particles of carbon, I guess. So yeah, it's quite a good little video. Did I post it on the side there? I'll post it again anyway, just in case. So we're talking about IR thermal test. But what was quite interesting about this one, if you remember that UFO that was leaking fumes out the back, a contrail, which turned out to be a jet plane, and where was it now? Mexico or was it South America? I can't remember now. Chilean airways. But anyway,
that was the one that was debunked by Metabunk.
Yes. Was it Metabunk? I thought it was someone else. So I think I posted about it on my socials. There was some other guy that knew about short range radar and long range radar, and he said, "Hang on, you're saying it wasn't on radar, but you're only talking about the short range radar. How about the long range radar?" And it turned out that it was actually a known plane that was going around to land at the airport. So he sort of debunked it because the panel of experts that also are on To the Stars, there were the same people that couldn't debunk that one, and now we're on this other one. So really, that's why they need to open it up to people like me and other people around the world who have different skill sets and spots things they missed. So yeah, I thought I'd show you that one. Now let's get on to a video of UFO.
UFO.
So UFO man used a video from this guy here. Is that the first one we talk about? What was the first one? Oh yeah, UFO man. That's another one we'll look at. He hasn't deleted that one yet. So apparently this is a UFO filmed from a passenger jet. We'll just play a wee bit of it. I'll make it a bit bigger. And you can see he's put his fingerprint all over it with his name of the channel and stuff. And big writing on it. There you go. Edit by Marcio Roos. Now, you probably won't see the UFO.
Yeah, flashes past pretty quick.
Yeah. So he starts cherry picking a frame, a single frame from the video, and says it looks like a UFO, a white one at that, I might add. So what I did is I slowed it down even more, down to 25, I think it was. And I carried playing it, and up in the corner here, you'll see in this area up here, the white dots slowly go across the sky. Well, it's actually fast because the plane is moving at was it 300 knots?
Yeah.
And the object going this way is also moving, so it goes across the frame very quickly. So if I carry on playing, you probably just saw it then. I think it was then. Yeah, you don't see it because look, it's so small. I probably have to zoom in as well. So what I did is I did the job anyway. I screen captured it and made a video up and played it in slow motion to make it a lot easier than what this guy was doing. Probably go on the other screen, so I'll just drag it across. I think I clicked on it. Why is it not opening? Oh, it says it's just very slow for some reason. So I zoomed in on the bit that's important, and I'll see if I can play it in slow motion. and you'll see it come across here. What's happened? Always stuffs up. Yeah, I'll see. Oh, here we go. And you can see the object flew across then, maybe. You can see, even though I slowed it down quite a lot more, it's still very hard to see it. There it goes, look.
Bird.
Yeah. I think it's a seagull, and because we're looking at so low quality pixels, it's very hard to see, but as you know, because of motion blur and also rolling shutter that you get on smartphones, there you go, goes across again. And because the plane's traveling so fast towards the bird, and the bird's flying in the opposite direction, you're only going to get it every so many frames because of the camera shutter speed. But what I'll do is I'll take some stills from this video and I'll show you in the editor what it looks like. Here it comes now. Oh, I'm trying to pause it. Hang on. And what's happened?
Yeah.
It's gone strange. I'll click on the pause button when I see it. There. So it is there. You can see the quality is not so good. And when I zoom in even more, you can see that we're looking at pixel level, the quality of the... Of course, the problem here is I've screen captured it. So does that look like a UFO there? It kind of looks like it's a deformed shape. So if we carry on a bit further, it's there now. It wasn't quick enough. You can see it's like a little blobby circle now. So we keep playing it. Eventually it goes off. Now it looks like a sort of stretched square or circle or oval, I should say. So it's definitely changing shape as it's flying. So what I've done is I've put it into paint.net. And here's the images. So first of all, I took his one and tried to do my normal analysis on. And as you can see, it's sort of like a tear-shaped object. And you can see it's not very solid around the edges, which means because of motion blur, that it's not actually a solid craft. So it's got to be something like a bird or insect, or it can't even be a drone. It can't even be a drone camera that's flying in airspace. So it's got that sort of tear shape like a seagull, and you probably can't see the wing because it's gliding on an air current and it's going really fast past the plane. And you can see it's about 1,000 feet up, or about a mile up as it's coming into land. It's coming down to the airport. Is that the airport there or something? Or there somewhere. So if we go to the original video, it actually tells you where he got it from. And it's apparently a New York plane coming into land. If I can scroll down. So it's coming in through the coast there on New York City. Best landing ever, United 737-800 flying over New York City, Manhattan Central. So you can see it's a couple of miles up at the moment and slowly descending, coming down for the runway. So apparently the bird is showing around about the 4-minute mark. There's Central Park. It's a pretty good view. That's one of the clearest footage I've seen where someone filmed it out the window anyway. So the bird was about there because you can see the camera was panning, so it's around here, it shows up. There it was, I think. You saw the edge of the window there. In fact, that might have been another bird. I think the bird coming up now, isn't it? There somewhere. Yeah, it is. And then he pans around. So that's original footage anyway. I'll post a link to this guy's analysis so you can have a look. And you can click the link to the original video. So we call it to UFO Jet. So I'll just go over my analysis a bit more. I'm not using the original quality, I'm just screen capturing it from YouTube, so it's not going to be the same quality as what this guy has got. Mine was pretty rough, and you can see when I go back to the editor, I used to have boxes. There we are. So there's the first one here, and the next image that shows up is just slightly further along, and it looks like it's changed shape a wee bit there. And the next one's further along again, and it's just over the river here. Was that a river? Oh, don't know what that is. Maybe some trees. And you can see here, it looks low quality compared to the buildings. It looks it's very hard to define a real shape. But when you do a zoom in even more, that's the first one. So that one there, and that little square, zoomed up as that, which is same as this one here, which is a bit more high res. So it's got that sort of tear shape happening here, but it's lower quality, as you can see. And the next one is here, and you can see straight away it's not the tear shape anymore, and it looks like it's we're seeing a wing of the bird here this time. It's changed angle slightly. So if we enhance that one, even though it's rubbish quality, it's no longer a tear shape. Why is it not working? I think it might be running slow, is it? It should do something straight away. No, it's not working. Should be using the same filter I used for the first one. Should be doing the background like that. Should keep it constant to that one. Let's just try that one. Should be doing that. You can see it's using the same filters, and here we're seeing some of it lost some detail due to the pixels, but we've still got that shape happening here. But it doesn't look like a bird as much as the first one. Yeah, doesn't look like a bird shape. But this one here, why didn't it change? Maybe it's lost the selection. Select all. Now it's doing it. So when we use that filter on that one looks more like a bird. Now it looks like the front of the bird here and the wings going out sideways.
Yeah, that's.
But you have to remember it's lower quality.
Considering what you're working with, that does look bird-like, to say the least.
And the next one, again, it's changed shapes again. It looks like a blob, like a UFO blob there, but when you zoom in on it, it doesn't look like a blob at all. It's sort of like a strange shape. So if we enhance that one with the same filter settings, that's what stands out. So could that be a flapping wing as it's changing direction? I don't know. So you can see here that depending on the quality of the video, you ain't going to get much from it. Really, you want to get hold of the guy's original video and do it the highest possible quality. But you can see, because we haven't got any color ranges, this black and white and grey. Doesn't look like a UFO though. So that would be the main reflective part of the body of the object, and you can see it's definitely not saucer shaped now. Was it not changing? Did I cancel? That was a quite good one I had before. But you get what I mean though. So if we did proper analysis on it with the best quality video, we'd see probably indications of it flapping the wings. Even though it might only be a few pixels, it might be going up and down, up and down. But I suspect it's gliding, so we're not going to be able to see much of the flapping. True. But we're seeing it changing its body direction as it's heading away. If you look at the video going, is that playing? Or is it not playing? I put it on really slow, didn't I? So he zooms right in here. And you can see it's almost like it's very hard to see because a lot of the building tops are the same color whiteness.
Yeah, it could easily be a building top from that.
But this is a classic thing of motion blur with the cameras, and you're not seeing a saucer shape at all, but you're seeing a blur of a bird flying. We've talked about that so many times now.
Yeah.
And has he done some more? I haven't actually. Yeah, he's done further along. And you can see here it's definitely changed shapes. Definitely looks on his video here. You can see it looks more bird-like on his one here. It's got that. I wonder if they zoom right in for us. Maybe I can take an image of that one because his rip here is a bit higher quality than the one I managed to get. So let's just grab that then. A bit of a shame he didn't zoom in just a wee bit more. But you can see here, looking at the edges of the buildings, the rooftops, there's really similar color. Doesn't sort of make it stand out at all. And should be the top one. The thing is, it's white. It's not silver. It's not sort of like spinning because it's not sort of got a sun flashing, blinking light coming off the surface of the craft.
No, it's not metallic, is it?
No, it's a white color object that's sort of in, and they obviously didn't see it when they were filming it with their own eyes because it's passing the plane so fast. And of course, you get the bird strikes about their altitude because they fly up. Birds fly up that high, you see, obviously.
Then they're just floating on the thermals, then, aren't they? And so you're not going to maybe see a lot of wing flap at that altitude. And it's just gliding.
I would look up some specs in a minute to see what altitude seagulls fly at. That's another way to confirm it. paste it to a new image. So you can see how many pixels we're dealing with. You probably, I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but we have to scale it up. And it looks the same as the one I did earlier. That one there.
Yeah.
And that's with him zooming in on it as well. Definitely looks like something natural. You can see it's got a bend going on here. It's just a shame it's not higher quality. Oh, actually, is that the right one? Haven't got the same one again, have I? Maybe I have. I think it might be the same one. Hang on, I might have stuffed up the screenshots, probably at the bottom. Might be that one. Hang on, I'll just open that one. Just as well, I checked that. Oh. I'm not sure why it's not putting them at the top. There's this one, it's slightly bigger. So let's zoom that one. And again, that's blurry all around the edges. And it still looks like a bird shape going on here. So let's make it stand out a bit more. Let's try that again. Yeah, straight away we start to see it looks like a tail going this way and a beak going that way. Still, we can't see legs or a wing, but it's definitely not it's not symmetrical to be a UFO. That's a very strange shape. Oh, there you go. So we've got you can see there it's not solid, not a solid reflective shape. If it was a solid craft like a drone, we could play around with it and try and bring it out. Chop off some colors, like then we're starting to get camera artifacts put into the image, which kind of makes it look like a saucer. So that's what people can do, of course. Normally, what you want to do is you want to bring down, to get rid of the lens flare, just enough not to alter the image too much. So if you did it like that, it kind of looks like a saucer, you see. And of course you've changed the colors, so it's less white and it looks more like a silver craft. So yeah, but you can see it's just too hazy to say it's a solid UFO. Let's see what else he's got there. We might have something even better quality. Keeps putting this up here, I don't know why, because he's taking the video off someone else. It's not like he's gone and filmed it.
Mm.
But you can see it's just a few pixels on the screen. It's far away. It's not very close.
It's not much to work with, is it?
It doesn't look like it's a real big craft, if you know what I mean. It looks like a small object that's far away, rather than a large object. But he hasn't done any of the early ones, I don't think, where it first comes into frame. None over here, you see. He's cherry picking the best ones with the darker background.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely cherry pick.
You should be looking at all the frames where it appears and sort of make an emanation, see if it's changing shape. No. He's saying it's not a bird because of the speed, but you got to remember the guy's panning his camera, the plane's moving, and the bird's flying in the opposite direction. You got to add all
even if it was standing still,
yeah,
it's going to seem to be traveling quickly.
Yeah.
Because of the speed of the aircraft going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Simple, isn't it?
I reckon Renee thinks it's still a saucer, don't you?
Oh, right.
Renee likes to believe everything's a UFO, don't you? What do you think on that one, Renee? Do you believe it's possibly a seagull or a solid UFO? So you can see how far away from the plane it is. And it, to me, it always, because he's not playing the sequence like I did, you can't actually see the flight path of it. He's not zooming in enough, it's sort of not giving enough detail. If you try and play it again. I think Renee's gone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see if I can play it again. So you can see it a lot better on my video, can't you? But it's lower quality. Let's see if I slow it down a bit more. Is that still playing? Goes a bit crazy when I do that. Yeah, it's sort of stuffed up. I wish they'd fix their bugs with their player. Here we go. It's playing really slow now, so you should be able to see it. Coming in. So it's only in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. So how did you calculate that as a speed? I don't know. Let's see. You could probably do it if you knew the pixels and the speed of the airplane flying towards it. I guess there's supposed to be some complicated algorithm. But yeah, if I was going to do that, I'd put that in Vegas Pro and slow it down even further, and try upscale it, improve the quality. But yeah, I think we've probably done our dash on that one. So that's it there again. It's definitely got a tear shape to it and blurry edges, so it's moving quite fast. So that brings us to, what's the other one here? Oh, right, what's that one? Oh, that was a seagull.
Yeah.
I bet if we blurred that...
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It'll come out with the same effect, probably. Let's just close some of these down. How's the graphics going tonight? Do you see any corruption? Because we've been pushing
none.
We've been pushing it a bit tonight with all the things we're running. It's really pouring down the rain here. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background.
I can. I didn't know what it was until you said, but yeah, I can hear background sound.
It's been raining now for 7 hours straight.
Oof.
It's almost like bad as UK.
Yeah.
So
sun shining today.
I got the seagull here. Let's see if we can move it. Oh, There we go. Of course, that's the wrong angle, really. But if we artificially blur that, you'll see it looks like the same object, which is another thing I normally do. I want blur, 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 blur. Where is it? I can't see it. My eyesight's not as good. Where is it? Blur, blur, blur. Blurs. We want Gaussian blur. Not too sure which one to use. Try that one to start with. So you can blur image. Hey! And then you can do side-by-side comparisons. And of course, we get this black bit. You know how we had a look at that train one with object flying past, and you said it looked like a UFO. I think it was a bird too.
Oh yeah, I mean that one was.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So could it be a seagull or could it be some other white bird like an albatross? I don't know what they have in New York. Pigeon? Would a pigeon be that high?
The albatross is normally deep sea. Don't come inland, so it wouldn't be an albatross, but could be a few other things, you know. But a gull is the most likely explanation.
Well, let's have a look at some stats on birds anyway. Let's have a look at, first of all, how high does a gull fly? High. And let's Google the super brain say. Bird's average flying altitude is 50 feet. The highest a bird has flown is 124 feet.
That's rubbish.
I think that's rubbish too. So what was that from? What site? In Des Islander. How high can an eagle fly? Well, there we go. It can reach 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. What's the highest flying bird in the world? And here we go. We got a whole list. Bartel,
20,000 feet.
20,000 feet.
Mallard duck, 21,000 feet. It's a duck, for God's sake.
Could be a duck, yes.
Yeah, and look at that griffin vulture, 37,000 feet. You know that's above an airliner's height. So
yeah, that's right. They fly when you get the contrails. It's about 35,000 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it?
It is.
So how many feet in a mile?
Oh.
Yeah. So let's plug it into Google, and it will tell us like this. I use Google for lots of things. It's probably the most powerful search engine, isn't it? So you say feet to miles, and it will tell us.
It'll tell us, yeah.
Bang! Straight away, 7 miles. And that plane was probably only 1,000 feet up, or.
Well, when you said, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So we wouldn't know what type of bird might be in New York, though. They definitely would have pigeons, and they probably would have seagulls because you can see the coastline there. So New York City, white birds. Hey, thanks for the thumb up, guys. We've got a new watcher, have we? Say hello on the side if you want. And if you sub, you get your name on the screen for this live stream anyway. We've got 4 watching at the moment. So, did our search work or not? Sometimes Google is no good. White birds. what birds are in New York? So let's have a look. European starling, monk, red-tailed
colour.
Red-tailed hawk, house sparrow, pigeon. There's pigeon. Here we go. Laughing gull and heron gull.
I think they're your best two because they're likely to be white in colour.
Yeah.
I don't know about a dock pigeon.
Have we got pictures of them? So that one we're looking at for comparison editor might have too much black in the wings, and the other ones may have more white. You know what I mean? So it'd be a better match. So if we go down, we got a pigeon, and we've got European starlings. We get those here, and we've got a monk parakeet. So they even have those there. Australia has a lot of parrots. Red-tailed hawk, so it won't be that one. House, 2 legs. Yeah, we got these guys in their garden. Rock pigeon, laughing gull. So I don't think it's that one because that one's too black. So we got the heron gull. So it looks like it could be that.
And the fledgling ones don't develop the colour till later on. They're very light colour.
Yep. So what we need to do is plug in a bit further. I think because it's on the coast there, because we saw the plane coming in over the coast, it's got to be gulls for sure. Because they're scavengers, aren't they? So we plug that in and we'll see what images we can get. So that one's a different color completely to these guys.
Yeah, that's fledgling it. So
no, this one, only difference is it's got European in front of it. So this is where evolution comes in, I guess. Well, we got these guys in New Zealand. So that one's more black. This one's more grey. But if you have a look at that one again, that looks more like the grey one. I thought there'd be one that has white, more white in the wings. Maybe the baby ones do, like you said.
Oh, look at the heron gull. I mean, that's a very light coloured grey, isn't it? It's there you go again, heron gull.
So how high do they fly? Because we didn't see it in the list, did we?
No, but they'll get up. They'll get up to the height that plane was without any question.
So there you go. You can see how white that one is. So it could have its wing further up above above the top. So if the wing's above here, that's where it's more greyish, and we're just seeing the white body. So this wing here is in the incorrect position, basically, for that photo. It's not the best match for the comparison, but that one would be a lot better if we had it in flight. We want one that's gliding like this one. See how straight his wings are? He's gliding on the air current here. Doesn't have to move the wings at all. And if you're filming that from the side, you're not going to see his wings on camera, especially moving at that. When they get on those air currents, so how fast can they fly is another question. On an air current. Gliding speed.
I'd go 50 mile an hour plus.
We only got the European one. It sort of didn't give us the answer we were after. Did I must type it gliding speed? Maybe we could get rid of heron. Just put gull on.
Yeah.
Gliding flight. No. Seagulls. Maybe seagulls one. We could just put in. Seagull is the same as a gull.
If you put it in flying speed rather than gliding speed, you might get a better result then.
How seagulls fly. So let's have a look at this guy's website. Sometimes gulls can glide and soar for a long time. It seems like they almost drift along a beach while they look for their next snack. Many gulls find these thermals and use them for upward push. These gulls are slowly gliding down. Unfortunately for gulls, warm air does not rise from the ground in an even manner. This air is a shape more like a circular column, although not perfectly round. Riding thermals are great energy savers for gulls when they can fly them. The sun warms the ground, which in turn warms the air slowly above. It's not common for gulls to wait on the beach until around. It's not common? Or it's not uncommon, alright, for gulls to wait on the beach for in the morning for thermals to form. So there you go. But we haven't got any speed. Size. Landing is harder for seagull than takeoff. So we didn't have anything about speed there, did we?
Hold on, I'm on a quick look myself now. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we're going overboard and investigating this one. Everyone probably agrees it's a bird.
Yeah, but it's the birds by flight speed. Yeah.
Bird UFOs, bat UFOs. No, it's not a bat because it would be black if it was a bat one. But we have things in Australia when I lived there called flying foxes, and they're like these creepy looking bats that land in the trees outside your house and they poo everywhere and probably spread disease as well. Let's see. Flying fox, I think they're called.
Okay, an albatross can reach 80 miles per hour. They are basically the same family as a gull, so that gives you a fairly good indication.
Yeah. So this is bats that we get.
17.9 mph.
This is the bats that get in Australia, and they were landing in the trees where I was living anyway, which is in the city, believe it. And basically the sky would go black with them. There was like tens or thousands of these things flying at night time because they don't see very good with their eyes, but they use sound. And they can land straight on the trees and grab the branches. And they're quite big. They're like
so mad, don't they?
Sorry, you broke up.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, your mic's gone. Can't hear you. Your volume's gone down for me anyway, but I don't know if anyone else is hearing the same. So here's one here. Gull Research Organisation. Look at this one. This one's a lot more white on the screen here. Look at that one.
Yeah, it's fledgling. That's what I'm saying. That's a young bird. It hasn't fully coloured out yet.
But we didn't really find the answer to what birds fly in New York, though, did we?
No, it doesn't matter. Girls, they're all the same family. And, you know, if an albatross can reach 80 miles per hour, then a gull will be something close to that.
Gull baby. So these are the babies. Little fluff balls.
Yes, yeah, they tend to be that lightish speckled colour when they're fledgling. But it's still not white, is it?
Well, that one kind of looks white though. This one
Yeah,
here.
certainly does. Yeah, yeah.
That one's you can see different shades here. That's two chicks here, I think. There's the parent, is it? And that definitely looks a lot whiter and smaller than the other ones. I don't know. Let's keep looking. I think we've done a dash on goals anyway.
Yeah.
How many goals do you see around airports? They're everywhere around airports.
Everywhere. They get very inland.
Now, I did a debunk of a goal video a while ago. See if I can find it. And it's also a blobby shape. How's the time going? Time flies.
Nearly 12 my time. So what's that going to be for you?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the morning.
1.
I don't want secure team. So what's he put up lately? Heat anomaly below Antarctica. I don't think I want to even look at that. So I'll pick the wrong link. So if we go here to my videos, we'll move on to the next UFO video anyway.
Okay.
But there's one, I think I got one called Airports UFO or something. Let's see if I can find it. There you go. UFO at the airports. So this one here, I'll paste it down the side and I'll play some of it too.
Okay, hold on.
It's only a 3-minute video. So it's not trying to break copyright stuff. I didn't take the full image. It was a skim it. I think it was put out by express.co. Plane struck by lightning at the airport seconds after alien craft was spotted. So here's the screen snapshots. And you'll see it's a blobby, same sort of tear-shaped object, which matches the one we just looked at. There you go, looks exactly the same. But here we've sort of got the grey wing coming down here. You can see it at the bottom here. And because if you run that through filters, which I do in a minute, I think. There you go.
I think you've got a few more pixels to work with on this one, haven't you?
Yeah, look, you can see the head of the bird looking down at this frame. These are various frames grabs I took, and you can see here we've still got the tear shape, but you can't see the wings because it's gliding. You can sort of see maybe an edge of a wing going that way and a wing coming this way, but it still looks like a UFO, doesn't it? So keep playing. There's another one, and you can see it's changed shape this time. And it's sort of not exactly a tear shape anymore. And you can see maybe the wings gone upwards on an air current, but it still looks like a beak coming down this way. I think I enhanced that one to show you that's a bird. Definitely looks like a seagull, this one. And here's the video of it, is it? Did I play a video? Oh, that's a lightning strike. It's pretty cool lightning strike. You can see it hits the plane and then it goes towards the ground. on the wingtip. So they're saying they don't believe seagulls fly that fast. So it's exactly the same. Here we go. I found the information. Gulls can glide up to 100 kilometers. I'm not sure if it's per hour. I think I might have missed per hour on the end. 100 miles an hour?
That's right. No. 100 kilometers would be around
There you
70
go.
miles per hour.
Here's a better image I found earlier. Last year.
Go.
That looks more white, and you're getting the wing, less of the grey on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, I run it through filters, and you can actually see the beak on this particular filter. You can see the head and the beak. There was a typo there. That's actually meant to be an A. Outline of birds. So I did a side by side there. But it's definitely not a classic symmetrical shaped flying saucer anyway. But it's the same as that video we just looked at. So once
format, isn't it?
Same format. But yeah, I would have thought a bird can fly at 7 miles up. And that's where you're getting all the storm clouds, edge of the storm clouds. So also if you say how high can insects fly?
Higher than you think.
Yep, they fly pretty high. And of course you get those big black beetles that can also be picked up on camera. So most insects can fly as long as they're in the air, about 15 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. If the air temperature at the ground level is about 70 degrees, insects have about 3,600 feet. What's that saying? Insects have about 3,600 feet before they hit the ceiling, and that's 90-degree days. That border is about 6,000 feet. So they can fly 6,000 feet. So not as high as a bird then.
No.
How high do flies and mosquitoes fly? Found breeding in tree holes 50 feet above the ground. So they can't fly very high. What insects fly the highest? In 2008, a colony of bumblebees was discovered on Mount Everest at more than 5,600 meters or 18,000 feet above sea level, the highest known altitude for an insect. In sequential tests, some of the bees were still able to fly in a flight sim or flight chamber, which recreated the thin air of 9,000 meters, 30,000 feet. So even some insects can get up as high as the birds too. So there you go. Who would have thought a bumblebee? Because when you see them, you think they're going to crash to the ground all the time when you see them, because you wonder how the hell they can fly because they're so big and clumsy.
Yeah, clumsy. Yeah, I can use that word. Yeah.
But without bumblebees,
excuse me one moment. Let's shoot the dog, please.
Now you have to put him on the screen so you can see what your dog looks like. Where is he? No, he's gone. He's not going to show us his dog. He's got this white half-crossed German Shepherd with a Japanese dog, a Kinta. I'm not sure how you say it. Should ask him when he gets back. So let's have a look at this one here. This talks about 37,000 feet. So they can fly as high as birds. Birds aren't the only animals that can soar to exceptional heights. Insects can also rise to the cave altitudes, scientists have found. While the highest flying bird reported at 37,000, which we found out. Scientists have collected locusts flying at heights of 14,000 feet. And true bugs, stoneflies, mayflies at 16,000 feet, so they can fly pretty high.
That's astonishing.
And butterflies over almost 20,000 feet. And of course, I think that's where you get the fluffy clouds with the rain clouds happening, because planes can fly above the rain clouds at 30,000 feet, I think it is. So yeah, I was going to say you should put your dog on camera so everyone can see this dog of yours that's so annoying.
Oh.
Height of what's your breed of dog again?
He's Shepherd. It's a German Shepherd crossed in the Akita, Japanese Akita.
Basically, we'll just put it in Akita.
Akita.
Japanese word.
It's got a big curly tail.
And we've got images. So it's one of these dudes.
Yeah.
Look like they're from Antarctica. I mean, from Arctic.
So he doesn't like the heat on at all.
Oh, there you go. They're like fluff balls.
Yeah.
Big fluff balls.
They're very big, powerful dog.
And he wet his pants when the fireworks were going off.
Not on second night, believe it or not.
Oh.
Second night, for some reason, we seems to have got over it. Yeah. So hopefully, come November the 5th next year, won't have the same trouble. But he's crossed to the German Shepherd, so he has a slightly longer muzzle.
Mm-hmm. And less fluffy, of course. Height of... Now, what was I going to look at? Clouds, wasn't it? Clouds. So here we go. We've got some maps.
Yeah, I think Stratus cloud is the highest.
Probably can't read that.
Yeah, that's that. Like you know, the fishbone type cloud. There, Cirrus cloud. Actually, yeah. There we go.
So here we go. We're talking about birds flying this high with the jetliners on cruising altitude, way up here. So it's right at the edge of the clouds. And which ones are the storm clouds? These ones down here, because they get dark and heavy with water. They are lower down, and they're at 5,000 feet. So bugs can fly into rain clouds. So there you go. So what height do skydivers jump from? 10,000 feet?
You wouldn't be you don't want to be too high. You're just going to freeze to death, aren't you?
Well, the air gets thinner and oxygen gets less, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
that as well, yeah.
And the temperature drops quite a lot because you're not close to the ground where the heat's rising. So yeah, all those different clouds. I can't even pronounce them. Cirrus. Yeah. What's that one? Cirro Columbus.
No, Cirrus Semicumulus. Cirrus Stratus, Atlocumulus, Alto Stratus, and on and on and on.
But what's the difference? That one's sort of like cotton buds, and that's even smaller cotton buds.
That's right. The herringbone pattern you got at the top is what you see on the really, really clear days, and that's the highest of the cloud.
Anyway,
the nimbus generally storm clouds.
Anyway, I think we've sort of done a number on that one. I think we've covered a lot of science facts here anyway. So we'll look at this other one from UFO Man. I haven't analysed it or anything, but it's absolute rubbish. But I'll play it anyway. Where's it start from? Make sure it's muted because it's got horrible music. Slow speed. See that thing flying across the screen here? And it's a funny shape.
Yeah,
Look at
there's
that.
a strange one that I don't really know what it is, but it's certainly not structured like any UFO that's been.
My gut straight away is it's a bunch of balloons.
Now that's a possibility.
And he's putting it through these crazy filters. Now, what's the point of this filter here? This one here, look. Why would you do that?
What's he doing? What's he comparing it to?
He's not. He's just running it through emboss.
Okay.
He's just putting emboss on. So what's the point of that one? There's no details shown. What's that one? That's completely waste of time. But it sort of show that's got some, looks like 3 balloons at the top, actually. Looks like 3 clustered balloons here. It looks like it might be a character balloon underneath, maybe. But this totally pointless, this video. Apart from having a look at the original image. See, that one there is probably a wee bit better. This gives us some details. Kind of looks like an octopus almost, doesn't it? Looks like 2 eyes. Could it be a panda bear?
Yeah, squid. It turned, but
Yeah, could that be a panda bear head balloon?
It could easily be. It does look like a character balloon, doesn't it?
Could it even be a dog? Could that be 2 front legs and a dog with 2 ears?
It could well be.
And the back legs going out the side here, and it's just drifting past on the air current. So let's have a look again. Let's slow it down a bit even more and play it again. And we'll take some images and see if we can enhance it ourselves. I might slow it down too much. Normal speed, but we slowed it down to 0.25. So it comes across here diagonally, going up, up, up. So what's the reference point? See that there seemed to be on the edge here too. Seems to be something over here happening. See that? Blinking going on. There's 2 parts to this video, not just that object. Usual, perhaps biblical or alien.
What is he talking about?
See, something happened over here. Don't know if it was lens flare. And look, it's another balloon, I think. See that little balloon?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of balloons been released. There it goes, another balloon there. Look, another balloon. There's a whole bunch of balloons been released.
They're all going the same way.
They are. But there it goes. It's going with the air current. No one tells. Yeah. No one tells us which way the air was blowing that day. If it was going against the air current, then we might have something very unusual.
Yes, true.
So, what's it look like? Still looks like a dog to me. Looks like a dog with a black body and white legs on the end. It looks like a white head with an ear. It could be me matrixing, of course, and it looks like 3 balloons on the very top. That's the question. Is there balloon dogs? Let's have a look.
Of course there'll be.
Balloon dog. What type of dog does it look like though? It looked like be something that people see in movies that they like, probably. We're looking for a proper dog, not a twisty dog. We want a character balloon, really. So what search keywords can we do? White, black ears, I don't know. Sitting, laying.
Myself.
Well, we're doing a life debunk, so I haven't actually looked at this one before.
Okay.
Well, now it's come up with dogs. Silly Google, we want balloon only. So it kind of looks like a dog, but in the opposite direction to this one, where it's sort of laying down on something. Balloon.
Yeah. If you type in dog-shaped balloons, yeah, I've got it on the tab here now. You've got all kinds. Dog-shaped balloons.
Oh, here we go.
You can buy them off eBay.
Yeah, but we want one that sort of matches.
Yeah, some of these do.
Yeah, black hair. Balloon dogs.
Dog-shaped balloons I typed in, and I've got a few here.
So it could have been like a funeral they bought the balloon for, and they released it into the air, like releasing the dog spirit into the atmosphere. Some people do that. But like I said, it could still be a bunch of balloons and we're just seeing shapes in it.
Yeah.
Now let's take a still from the original. What's happened here? Your browser does not support. What's that rubbish? Of course it supports it. So I'm cranky on this. Reload. Oh, what the hell?
Is that The Simpsons?
I didn't say that one. Oh no. I don't want a copyright strike for some stupid crap. What's happened? Oh, it's gone back a directory. Bloody Google. Ah, shit.
I'm crazy.
What's happened? Oh, God. Because I did a refresh, that's why. It's sort of screwed up, hasn't it? Well, let's unpin that tab. I better get a copyright thing for it. Bloody hell. It'll do a match. It'll be like a 10-second match saying, we've taken control of your video now because you've got a 10-second match with bloody stupid Simpsons or something. And then I have to say it was fair use accident or something. I don't know. What's happened to the chat here? The people go, is it still working? People are not talking. I suppose I've lost it now though. The link to it. Unless he's deleted the video while we're looking at it, it's possible. That's why it gave an error. I should have got the link to the original one because I didn't look, did I? What was it called though? Paranormal Breakdown. It was before then. Lights. What was the title of it? It was before then. I think it was after there. Where is it now? What's it, that one? He uses caps on the... Oh no, so does that guy. People that like using caps. Yeah, I wanted to take a screen snapshot of it. So we can do some side-by-sides. What was it called? Do you remember what the title was? What's going on? Type UFO man, does it come up? Here we go. Well, let's go here. Videos. Has he deleted it? Could have been what's happened. This one. That's it.
That's the one.
I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, we want to get the original one from this. Where is it? Yeah. Might be less played with. Oh shit, he hasn't linked to the actual video. So it looks to me like he's got critters or let's see if we can find it. Oh, here it is. So it was 2013. It's a really old footage then. So we didn't know that until we come here. So let's have a look. Well, that looks similar to what he was saying on his one. So I saw one going across here, one going across here, one going across here. Do we get a close up? So doesn't look like UFO man did the analysis then. It was this guy here. What's the channel called? Lexa UK. Let's see. I think that's before he starts playing around with it. So we'll take a snapshot of that one. Still looks like a dog to me though. Bugger, I've run out of drink. You get a dry throat when you're talking. So let's open it up here. It looks like a black nose there, see, and two black eyes. It looks like a dog.
2 eyes, yeah.
And it looks like a black hair there.
2 front feet and the hind leg as well.
Yep, it looks like a blow-up balloon of a dog. So let's put it through this tool. So let's save that. So where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at close up there, actually looks like a Staffordshire bull terrier.
Yep, it could be. It's in UK, they have a lot of staffies, don't they?
Yeah.
And bulldogs and that type of thing with black ears.
You get white staffs with black spots, and you get pure white. They come in all colours. Thin whites. Does look like a staff. Big time.
It does,
big
doesn't it?
time.
It does.
Yeah. It's got that big black nose.
Let's try.
And a short muzzle.
Let's go in white up the top. Looks like a dog with two black ears and a funny balloon hat to me. So let's try that one and enhance it a bit more. But as we pointed out on that video, you could see other balloons. Obviously, we've only just taken this image, but I bet if we snap some of the other ones and enhance it, you'll see the big balloons. What's happened? Where's the slidey gone? And enhance it too much and it gets grainy. I think we see some three-dimensional details here. I still think it looks like a dog or a black nose, though. And you can see here, looks like an ear out the side here that's black. I'll just do cancel on that and undo. You can see how blurry it is there compared to what the sharpener was doing. It really does sort of improve it quite a lot. So if we go back one and enhance that with those colors, because the colors do affect the sharpening. There we go. Don't know if we can do much with it. But you can see it's not going to be a UFO or a critter because it's not sort of moving. It was sort of like
not
moving across the screen like in an air current. I think it's probably the best we're going to get. So let's have a look further into it. So what's up at the top here? I think you wanted to talk about some stuff tonight, so didn't you? But you don't have
to. I can get through it quite quickly, you know. I've got to leave at 1 o'clock. It's 22:01 now. I can get through it in 5 minutes or so, you know. Just something that a lot of people aren't aware of, I think, that's all.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it next time if you want, because we're
we'll do it next time. We give it a bit more.
What's the UFO topic on? What's your UFO topic on?
Well, I had a couple, but the main one was the Lonnie Zamora UFO incident.
Okay.
Often known as the Chicago incident in New Mexico.
Oh, right.
You must be aware of that one. It's one of the old classic sightings. It was in 24th of April, 1964. But yeah, we'll talk about that on the next one, Paul.
Yeah. Was that the one of the traffic cop?
That's right. Yeah, that's Lonnie Zamora, yeah.
So I'm sort of seeing, let's see if I can draw around stuff here. How I'm seeing it and you're seeing it. I'm seeing like little things on top here. I tell you what, mouse is useless for artwork. Looks like a fancy hat of some sort. It could be a dog with a hat.
Yeah, some kind of embellishment. You know, it's
looks like
it's not a UFO.
Yeah, it looks like 3 balloons maybe. On top of its head, and underneath looks like an ear, black ear that's sort of bent over there. And that looks like its head going around this way. And its black nose here, which I'm not doing so well. And it looks like one eye there, obviously, and one eye over here. It kind of does look like a, and it looks like it might have some body clothing on here. Could it be like a jacket?
No, I don't think it might
Well, it
not
could be
that.
just a
It
black
could
skin.
just be the variation in colour, because Staffordshires especially tend to have white tips on their feet. You know, the lower third, the front legs.
Yeah, so that looks like
tends
the
to
two
have that
front
coloration.
feet. Looks two
Yeah.
front feet, and it looks like a back hind leg going out this way.
That's right.
Terrible drawing with a mouse though, but
It doesn't matter.
let's go back to the images. Anyone out there? What do you think? Do you think we're on the right track? As you can see, there's a balloon here. Looks like a typical round balloon, and that's throughout the images too, actually. So for only plays for like half a minute. See, there's one leading it, going in exactly the same direction. Not sure if you saw that. There's one here. It looks like two balloons stuck together. Yep, and it goes boom. There's another balloon coming in. Yep, and there's that one. And it looks like, still looks like a dog that's sort of rotated this time. It looks like it's rotated a bit. So it's not quite static. Let's see if we can get it. And look, there's a little balloon following it as well. Yeah, it's rotated a wee bit, I think. Head's still there, poor. Only slightly though. And it's obviously moving away from the camera because it's getting smaller too. Nope. Only slightly though, slowly tapering off. So let's have a look at the images again. So you said type in balloon dogs, was it?
Yeah.
Dog, you reckon it's a Staffy? We'll try Staffy in the search. Oh, there's a Staffy.
Oh, God, yes.
He's got a black hair, see, just like in that picture. That one's all different colours too. Look, yeah, patchy.
Yeah.
That one's all black. That's like the dog next door, actually.
You see how you know, on the actual photograph, the eye socket seemed much larger on the right hand side than it did on the left. Well, it was a classic example there. You just scrolled past it, but
Is that a balloon or is that a real dog? That's my question.
it's a real dog.
Oh yeah, but that looks like the thing. It looks like it's got a black ear. That one's got a black eye patch. So Staffy didn't quite work. Balloon. And that, we're back to that again. What did you type in? Myla.
No, I can't remember now. With that dog-shaped balloons, I typed in.
Right. So what have we got? Cartoon-looking ones. It's none of those ones. Is that a balloon dog? 30-inch spotty dog. So they can get quite big.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not in the right position. We want one that's laying down.
I don't think you're going to find the perfect
look.
match for it because there's so many of them around.
I think that's a hot air balloon one, is it? I think that's people in a basket underneath. Look at that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. See, you know, if they can produce something like that's a beagle, or they can do that, they can do all of the stuff, can't they?
Yeah, but it would be good to find it's a sec match, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you can spend hours looking through all images until you get one. But yeah, it'd be a lot of people selling it. Balloon people, wouldn't there? So there's one that's looking closer to it, like that. But yeah, if you get a sec match, you can sort of say write it off as a complete debunk. You know, there might even be one with a funny hat that sort of matches it.
Yeah.
There's another hot air balloon. Look at that one. So just keep looking. Well, let's see if we can put laying down. Well, we've still got 3 people watching though. And,
yeah, right. I've just.
Well, you can always search tomorrow and talk about it next live stream we do, or which will be Wednesday probably.
Wednesday. Okay.
So we're looking for a dog that's laying down like this compared to the picture that we're looking at. But it's still bringing us up real dogs and not blow-up dogs. So here's another balloon dog. Yeah, just not seeing any matches. I'm not sure what else we could search on. Maybe you have to put quotes around stuff. Dog shape balloon, 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 balloon. Balloon down. Oh, spelled it wrong. It looks like it's corrected. Look. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Jamal would like this one because he likes looking at ducks. But still, it's not balloons, is it?
No.
Stupid Google. How can we
run out of ideas?
Sometimes you can cut the image out and drop it into image search with the graphic, and sometimes it can match it better than we can looking.
Okay.
White dog, helium balloon, maybe try that. Right.
Mm.
So it's brought up some close
Similar.
better matches, but I think we've seen all those ones. Aha. There's one with a hat even.
This is what I mean. There's going to be so many variations of the same thing that finding an exact match is going to be an endless task, I'd imagine.
Well, there's a Dalmatian, seems to be a popular one.
Dalmatian, yeah.
These are funny looking dogs, that's for sure. Look at that one, that looks stupid.
It's a pug, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a balloon as well.
That's a balloon as well.
But you can get panda ones here too, looks like. What's happened? There you go, panda one.
Yeah. Great fun for kids, not so funny for the UFO community.
Well, it makes money for someone that puts it up as a UFO on their channel.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to find it. Oh well, it doesn't matter, I guess.
No.
But we can clearly see it's not alien craft. So, dog helium balloon, large dog. Maybe. That looks quite big. If those little circles in the video, right? Where is it? See, there's a regular sized balloon here. I reckon that's like a white one. Compared to this, you see it's quite much bigger.
Yeah, it's following the same direction. This is the thing, isn't it? You know.
And that looks like the same size as the hat or whatever. So it's going to be quite a large balloon, like 40, 50 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So did I search? Or did I muck it up? I got two searches going, have I? Here we go, large dog. So these are meant to be big ones. Doesn't look like it to me though. Large helium balloons. And that looks close to it, but it's the wrong color. And it's not laying down. That's a balloon. It looks like it's on a street party of some sort.
Yeah.
And that's got the black nose.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's any variations on that one. A doxy sausage dog. There's another one. Oh, there's a balloon. All dog balloons. Probably need to look at that site. Well, that does look like a balloon. There we go. We're looking so closer to that, aren't we? And that's a helium one. That's floating. Imagine that going past an airplane that's flying to land. Could you imagine the chat?
Yeah.
Hey, we just seen a dog UFO fly past.
Yeah. flying dog with no wings.
Start to taper off with the good ones now. We're into the Trump baby balloon. That was idiotic. Right, I think it's time to give up.
Good time. I've got to off.
Yeah, I got to wrap up actually and get a bed soon.
Okay, I'll wait till you wrap up then.
Oh, here we go. We've got some dogs here. So we're looking for something like that. And that's a cat balloon there. So
cats, yeah.
We want a dog one that's like that. Exactly the same, but in the opposite direction. It's got to be out there, I reckon. Anyway, I think we'll just leave it there for tonight, actually.
Yep.
Everyone that's watching, thanks for watching, and hit the like if you haven't
thank you.
done like. And we'll catch you probably the same time next Wednesday. And of course, I've got the eye hospital on Friday, so hopefully I'll still be okay to do a stream Friday, but I'll see how we go.
Good luck with that.
And I'll just cue my end screen good night and give it a couple of hours for the Google to add the front bit on if you joined us late and you want to watch what we were talking about first. But we spent the first 2 hours talking about the paranormal and the devices, problems with the devices they were using. So, good night. Oh.